Test, 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 test. Hey Alexa. Not so happy about what's happening in Trump's America. What up, Twitch? What up, YouTube? If you are someone that is not happy with what's happening in Trump's America, go ahead and request up. Hey, Alexa, stop. Tap, tap, tap the screen. Yeah, Tyler, I see you say cry, 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 ha, ha, ha. Get in the box. Get in the box. Get in the box. Again, if you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump and you want to come up and tell us why your orange poppy actually decided to, do some insane things like pardon a bunch of criminals, request up. If you are someone that wants to come up and tell me about why Donald Trump is so massive on deregulations, go ahead and request up. If you're someone that wants to talk about this oligarchy within, request up. Or if you're someone that actually wants to talk about all of the executive orders, which there's a lot, go ahead and request up. As soon as we get up to 8,000 likes, we will open up the panel. Chris, I see you. What up? Harsh takes, you don't look trustworthy. You keep spamming let me up, but you don't look trustworthy, so I don't think I'm gonna let you up. You seem like you might do some weird stuff when I get up here, and I'm just not into it. You seem like you would do something weird when you get up here, and I'm not interested in you doing something weird. So guys, keep tapping the screen. As soon as we get up to 8,000 likes, we will open up the panel. As soon as we get up to 8,000 likes, we will open up the panel. And again, if you have not sent your heart me, go ahead and do so. Also, guys, if you have coins, we do have the daily gift goal, which is the 2025, and that will help us get pushed out to the FYP. So if you could, please, 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 let's knock those out. Ruin Harpy, I don't believe you. I think you just switched accounts and came right back. Again, I don't believe you. I think you're the same person that just actually was up here. I absolutely don't believe you. No, you can't join. I'm not interested in people coming up here, trolling or being weird. No, thank you. No, thank you. Everyone else, keep tapping the screen. If there are genuine people that would like to actually join the panel, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. As you join the panel, go ahead and mute up. Okay. All right. We'll give you a shot. We'll give you a shot. I will give you a shot. Let's not be weird as soon as you get on the panel. Oh, you love. I was about to bring you up. There you go.
These executive orders, oh my gosh, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'm making my show notes for tomorrow's YouTube, and I'm just like, half of these is something that he caused. It's crazy.
It's absolutely, absolutely insane. Guys, if you are interested in joining the panel, please, please, please go ahead and request up. If you are a Trump supporter, I would love to hear for some Trump supporters. I would love to hear from some Trump supporters, specifically because apparently, a lot of Trump supporters think that they are doing like an amazing job, right? Thinks that they're doing, that Donald Trump has done some amazing stuff. Now, I'm going to have to go into a little bit more detail. And Chris, I don't know if you broke down like the whole $500 billion investment that they were just talking about today, but I need to find out more about that. But they're saying that, Trump is doing some amazing stuff. So if you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. I want to hear from you.
Wait, what was it directed towards?
I was just listening to it. It was for AI, like an additional $500 billion investment in AI.
I'll break that down because he's doing a little bit of capping there. Biden actually did that, but we'll explain it because it was part of covering up the rescinded EO from Biden, but we'll cover that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys.
Hey, Santana.
Hey, Ari.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So I uploaded it in the Discord. Basically, HR 78. It's an introduced bill. They introduced it on January 3rd, specifically about banning parts or some parts of AB operations and other operations related to it, but they haven't released the text yet, and it's already the 21st.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting. I'm going to have to get into that one. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes. We're at 11,000 likes. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 25,000 likes. Let's get the shares up, guys. We only have 17 shares. Let's get the shares up to 50 shares. Guys, I said it last night, and we have an opportunity to do something amazing. We have an opportunity, since this is only our second night back since the whole TikTok crisis, where we get an opportunity to quote unquote reset the algorithm. Basically what that means is I need you guys locked in, doing all the wonderful thing. I need you tapping the screen. I need you sharing the live out. I need you knocking out the daily gift goal. We need to do all the things that let the TikTok know that we are in the building and we are here for an amazing night. And again, I am interested in hearing from everyone. If you are someone that supports Donald Trump, get in the box. If you are someone that thinks that we're going to have to hold on to our seats over these next couple of years, get in the box. I want to give a special shout out as well to the people over on the YouTube side. What up, Mandy's Candy? What up, Aldo? What up, Warrior Princess? I see all you. How are you? If you're over on the YouTube side, make sure you're actually hitting the like button. And also, what's going on to Twitch? I see Twitch. I see Star Screams 92. Wait, can you hear me? Oh, hopefully drop something in the chat if you're on Twitch to let me know that you guys can hear me.
So I just want to give a shout out to Christopher directly, 2 boxes over there. So I know he comes from your community, but he keeps it clean as a moderator for me on YouTube and on TikTok. So I'm like, okay. He's associated with Santana, so I'm not surprised. Christopher, thank you for your services. I appreciate it.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
I got you guys.
All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to go around the panel for some quick introductions. We're going to go around the panel for some quick introductions. And while we are doing the introductions, if you are someone that wants to actually join the panel, please, please, please go ahead and request up and we will get into it. So I'm going to start with Chris. Chris, how are you?
Pretty concerned about what's going on in this country. Hey guys, I'm Chris, 7-year Army veteran, former technologist, finance bro in capital markets, which Trump's not going to be going towards, centrist that leans left, and yeah, very concerned about the past 48 hours because we're already going in the opposite direction.
Yep. And you actually took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, tell me, are you a Trump supporter? And what do you think as far as the first 48? So I'm assuming for you, not so good. All right. Ari, can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter? And what are your thoughts on the first 48 hours of the Trump administration?
Hey everyone. Yep, I'm Ari. No, did not support Trump in this past election. And well, first 48 hours, I'm experiencing snow in Florida, so that's weird. As far as politically speaking, I'm kind of disgusted. I think that's a good word. I'm disgusted.
Yeah. Snow in Florida. Thanks, Trump.
Snow in Texas
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
Houston.
Yeah, exactly.
I think my friend said thanks Biden for that one as a joke.
Yeah,
Obviously.
no. This is Trump's America, and I want to know why gas is so high, and I want to know why is there snow all on the ground in Trump's America. It wasn't snowing in Florida when Biden was president. So anyway, Christopher, how are you?
Hey, Santana, I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Christopher, can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter? And what do you think about the first 48 hours under the Trump administration?
So, I am not a Trump supporter, and my thoughts on the first 48 hours of the administration is disappointment, yet I'm not surprised.
Hmm. I get it. Perfect. Thank you so much. Um, is it Parolin?
Parlane.
Parlene, I'm sorry.
No,
Parlene.
you hey,
Parlene, are you
real
a
quick.
Trump
No,
supporter?
sir.
Okay.
But I heard you last night. You had me cracking up, man. I follow you now. Man, you had Liam on the hook, man. That was just funny.
Yeah,
So I just
no.
wanted to tell people, y'all, they need to follow you.
Oh,
You're really funny.
yeah, no, thank you.
I'm out.
Well, for chat, for anyone that's wondering what he's talking about, I have made a proclamation. I've made a declaration. I have come to an epiphany, and I am sticking to it. When we are not doing late nights with Santana, when it's just me on my own doing my own thing, I will be holding MAGA accountable. MAGA now has the burden to bear, or the burden of truth to bear, and I'll just leave it at that. So if you're not following my backup, follow my backup. You might actually enjoy it. Someone, your name is a smiley face. What can I call you?
My name's Hannah. Sorry,
Hannah.
I
No
don't.
worries, Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah, are you a Trump supporter, and what do you think about the first 48 hours under the Trump administration?
I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm. It's been hard, but I am trying to have a lot of hope. But I can't lie, I've been crashing out a little bit.
I understand.
I do live in California, so I am hoping things stay relatively okay over here, but it's definitely scary.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I hope you're safe, right? I don't know what part
Thank
of
you.
California you're in, but hopefully you and any of your family are safe, and we gonna be all right.
Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Beach, are you a Trump supporter, and what do you think about the first 48 hours under the new Trump administration?
Hi. So I am not a Trump supporter. I live in California. I'm a nurse, so I believe in science. in the last 24 hours have been
48 or wait, 24.
sorry.
Yeah, holy smokes.
Yeah, okay.
I've been saying 48, but yeah, holy smokes. Thank you for correcting me. It's been
Yeah,
listen.
it feels like it's been a
This
week,
last
right?
this last 24 hours has been a long year. I will say that.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't know, it feels like I'm living in a parallel universe trying to see the mental gymnastics being done to justify what has happened,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, it's absolutely interesting. Um Perfect, guys. Welcome in, Tommy Raid. Welcome in. I hope everyone is doing amazing, guys. Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up. We're at 20,000 likes. Let's get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Also, if you are someone that is interested in joining the panel, if you are a Trump supporter and you want to come up and tell me why Trump has been so amazing over these last 24 hours, if you are someone that's not a Trump supporter and kind of worried about what has happened and you want to actually join the panel, go ahead and request up. We have a couple of spots left open on the panel, and all are welcome. With that being said, I just want to make sure that I cover a couple of things. This is for the panel. Panel, please remember, we want to be able to have these conversations, so make sure you are using TikTok-friendly language. What does that mean? That means using words like pew pew, unalive, mustache man, C19, smex, all of those things that not only protect your TikTok, but it protects the live. And also, please remember that this is a safe and friendly community. What does that mean? That means we don't do any of the isms, racism, sexism, classism. We also don't deal with the phobias, homophobia, transphobia, none of it. We don't deal with it on the panel, nor do we deal with it in the chat. And with that being said, please, chat, remain respectful. Please remember, caps are for mods. The caps, they actually draw my attention away from the panel and to the actual chat. So please make sure you're remaining respectful, because if not, my mods will mute and block. Mute and block. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. If we can knock out I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal. I'm going to reset it to some of these 1-cent goals, and it'll help push us out to the FYP, get more people involved. Again, if you are someone that is a Trump supporter or someone that wants to just share your opinion about these last 24 hours under the new Trump administration, go ahead and request up. We are taking all comers. We got a couple of new people here on the panel, so I want to go ahead and introduce the new people. I'm going to start with Phil. Hey, Phil, how are you?
Hey, Santana.
Phil, can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter? And what are your thoughts on the first 24 hours under the new Trump administration?
I'm very much not a Trump supporter, and considering he directly attacked me in his inauguration speech, and people like me, I have to say that not only am I scared, but I'm a little bit pissed off.
I understand for sure. Perfect. Thank you. Robin, how are you?
Hey, Santana. Good evening, panel. How are you guys?
Good evening. Robin, can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter? And what are your thoughts on the first 24 hours under this new Trump administration?
I am not a Trump supporter, but this is rhetoric. It is expected. We know exactly who he is. We know exactly what he's about. My sentiments to everyone: stay safe, stay informed. You know what I mean? Investigate.
Absolutely.
Don't just go off the trust me, bro.
Absolutely, not at all.
This is not the time for that.
It is not. Thank you, Robin. Loving the skin that I'm in. How are you? Loving? Are you there? Loving the skin I'm in. Are you there? Loving the skin going once. Loving the skin going twice. I'm going to drop you down. Taylor, you think so? That's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and send you a request. How about you come up? And you're from Myrtle Beach. You're from South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina as well. I'm going to send you a request. How about you actually hop in the box and come and tell us all about it? Listen, this is a safe and friendly environment, even for Trump supporters. I would love to have a Trump supporter up here on the panel because we need the perspective of Trump supporters, right? You guys won, right? MAGA won. Trump won. The Republican Party is in power. You guys have all the control, have all the stroke, and we need to hear your voices. Your voices need to be amplified. So get in the box. Get in the box because we have to hear from you guys. And again, we are looking for a Trump supporter. So if you are not a Trump supporter, hold off for right now. We got more than a few friendlies. We got more than a few friendlies on the panel. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Diana, how are you?
Hey, honey, how are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Diana, can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter? And what do you think of these last 24 hours under the Trump administration?
I think it's pretty obvious. No, I'm not a Trump supporter.
Why did you say it like that?
Offensive.
I mean, you
It's a
could have
little
been.
offensive that you
could
would
have
say
been.
it like that. You would accuse me of that. That's crazy,
I mean,
Santana.
I'm just saying you could have been. I don't want to put it past
Fine.
you.
Wow. That's okay. It's okay. I understand.
Yeah.
No, honestly, we're kind of cooked, yo. Like, I've been trying to like process all of this stuff that's gone down like over the past 24 hours, and like I don't even know what to say. All of these bills that have gotten pushed up, like the stuff that hasn't even been talked about, because so much has gotten pushed up. Oh my gosh, like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the so part of one of the executive orders that Trump signed was let me see how I can say this in TikTok friendly language. The medicine that they use for a certain penalty in our state, South Carolina, he signed an executive order to give states more access to that, while South Carolina pushed a bill or put up a bill for when the House goes into session in South Carolina for introducing the potential charge of age side to women getting abortions in South Carolina, which falls under the penalty.
I'm not even gonna lie. I can't really keep up with. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying by speaking TikTok language, but I just can't figure it out.
So, I'm really trying to think of how to say this.
No. Okay, hold on. We'll come back to it. Send me shoot me a DM and then I'll read it real quick and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, guys. Again, we have one more spot open, and I would like to save it for a Trump supporter. So if you are not a Trump supporter, I'm gonna drop you down. Fat Kid talks something. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I know I'm a kid.
Yep.
So don't keep.
And you are a child. You are a whole baby.
Go do some homework.
You are a whole baby. Erica, does Bubba have his tablet? E, was that Bubba? Anyway, with that being said, guys, let's get going. Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 100 shares. Let's get
Santana.
Yep.
I may have to call my boss in like 15 minutes, but I really want to run the $500 billion scam that just got pinned, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, we'll get right into it. Just real quick, we're going to give the floor to Chris, but before we do, just an FYI, guys, we do have our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And with that being said, Dana said, I'm going to start this party off right. W's, massive W's in the chat for Dana. Dana sent a $50 donation to go towards our nightly donation goal. Dana said, keep up the great work. I love your content. Dana, you are amazing. Thank you for starting us off right. Thank you for that, guys. That means we're only $200 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. With that being said, Chris, I'm going to give you the floor. So just for anyone that's wondering, what is Chris talking about, right? I didn't get to finish listening to Donald Trump as he broke down the $500 billion investment that he announced that was being made into the United States, and it was based off of AI, right? And so Donald Trump has touted the initial investment from SoftBank and things along those lines. And basically, the investor, he said, "Oh well, when we were here, we said that we were gonna invest $100 billion, but you gave us so much confidence. You told us to do 200 billion. We're actually gonna do 500 billion." And so I haven't gotten to finish breaking down the dirty deets of that just yet, but Chris has the tea for you. Chris, tell the people about it.
All right, cool. So here's the thing. Trump, the point of this is Trump is overstating and under-delivering. So guys, check this out. $500 billion in investment. I'm going to tell you why this is unfeasible. So large amounts of capital gets deployed over time. Check this out. According to the Security Exchange Commission and a bunch of these private companies, this is solely a private company investment. There's already $400 billion from the Biden administration that they're taking credit for being invested by private companies like OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank. Check this out. So really, the only commitment is $100 billion supposedly from the government, but there's not a specific period. They're just saying over 4 years. And Trump's already, so these were already pre-existing capital commitments, right? So these 4 companies already committed $400 billion about 2 years ago, and it's getting deployed from the Biden administration. Biden didn't have anything to do with it either. It's private company investments. And Trump claimed that the initial investment would generate over 100,000 jobs. However, a lot of AI is actually is actually correlated to automation, which may lose jobs. And to wrap the point up, Trump actually has a history of overstating the impact of private sector investments. There was an investment that he did the same thing on called the Foxconn deal in 2017, where he promised this revolutionary investment into an LCD factory. That never happened. So he's doing the same mistake. He's overpromising, under-delivering, and taking credit for private companies making investment. There is zero money from the government from this deal.
Absolutely, absolutely. That doesn't surprise me. Like, it doesn't surprise me. I hope it doesn't surprise anyone else. The fact that Donald Trump, listen, I will say this over and over and over and over again. Donald Jimothy Trump, if nothing else, knows how to brand. I will give him that. And Donald Trump will never, ever, ever miss an opportunity to take credit for something. And also to lie. But with that being said, guys, I want to read this off. Guys, W's in the chat for Gene. Gene sent a $1 donation, says, remember when people said we shouldn't compare Trump to Schittler? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I remember as well. Listen, I've been on that whole thing as well. I've told people this, and I've even broken down why I've made the comparison. The comparison is not far-fetched, but yeah. With that being said, I want to play a fun game, right? I want to play a fun game. I'm going to start with Robin. Robin, I'm coming to you first. Robin, you know the thing that I've learned? That crime in America only matters depending on who's committing the crime. Have you realized that, Robin?
I agree.
Robin, I would love to hear your initial thoughts. Donald Trump did sweeping pardons for 1,500 people that was involved with J6. What are your thoughts around that? And do you think that that's setting a dangerous precedence? Because there are even some Republican senators who are pushing back on it, and now they're saying, oh, well, maybe we should look at the power of the pardon of the presidency, which I think they're all bark, no bite. But what do you think about that? And is that setting a dangerous precedence?
I think it's not only setting a dangerous precedent, I think that we should really look to now our justice system. We really should look at it. What is our justice system going to? Where is it going? What are we doing? Why are we letting them out? This is crazy. They have assaulted police officers of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't agree with it. I think it should be reevaluated. And I think that we as Americans should have a voice in it.
Okay. Good thought. Diana, I see that you had your hand up. You must have known that I was coming to you next. Are you gonna chime in on this? Because I would love to hear your thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Because listen, the one thing that there was violence in the Capitol on January the 6th. There was hatred. There was, a lot of people doing so many different things. They hung the Confederate flag inside of the Capitol building. But the one thing that I will never, ever forget, and excuse my language, but they smeared shit on the Capitol walls. Diana, what do you want to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, this is one topic that I've discussed quite a bit, and I think that in regards to the way that this new administration is going to be handling, criminalization and criminals in general in this country is going to be in a way we never thought we'd see in the US. We've seen it in other countries. We've seen it happening back in the 30s with certain originally elected officials. And in regards to the January 6th protesters getting pardoned, I think in this country we have normalized a part of the oath that they're supposed to be upholding, and it's completely unacceptable. Every single person that gets sworn into office swears in on the oath of protecting the United States and the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I think that the issue here is in this country, we will very, very, very easily, everybody here, almost everybody in this country, except for some freaking psychos, can agree that, for example, 9/11 was a T-word attack. That everybody can agree that. For some reason, even though the attacks of January 6th, where they hung nooses from the gallows, where they said unalive the Vice President and Speaker of the House of the United States of America, where they bashed police heads in, they cannot define it as such, and this is a huge issue. Not only are they pardoning people who literally did this, they pardoned that freaking guy that designed, today Trump pardoned that guy that designed that one dark web website.
The Silk Road.
Yeah. Silk Road. He pardoned him because his mother gave him push with the Libertarian Party. And he flat said that was why. He said that the kid's mom, gave him really great waves in the Libertarian Party, and so I'm pardoning her son as this show of gratitude because it's unacceptable, even though he created a website that literally trafficked people and so many harmful things into this country and out of this country. I'm gonna pardon him because this person did me a favor.
Yeah.
It's so funny and so hypocritical that this party has been screaming from the rooftops about the weaponization of the government and the weaponization of the justice system.
Yep.
When in reality, we're not seeing that. We're seeing Biden pardoning his family because Trump has flat out said he's going to go after them during this administration. And on the other side, we see him literally pardoning terrorists. I don't understand.
Listen, I completely agree, right? And so the interesting point about all of that, and I want to shift. Listen, Sean, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second, right? I'm going to put you on the spot because Diana said a word, right? We're talking about the T groups. And I find it interesting that Jimothy loves talking about different T groups, right? And he even said that he's going to declare the cartel as a T group. But we got a couple of domestic T groups who have been able to live in the land of the free, home of the brave, including the Triple K. The Proud Boys. They are a part of a T group. It's a lot of them. And so, Sean, I'm going to come to you in just a second, but I want to hear your thoughts on that, because it's interesting that Trump is actually willing to pardon people like this and allow these certain T groups to be in roam free without any type of repercussions. But before you do that, let me just say, welcome in, Harry Raid. Welcome in, Harry Raid. Guys, as you get in, tap the screen, share the live out. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 75,000 likes. If you do not follow me, please go ahead and give me a follow. This is Late Nights with Santana. We are having a conversation. If you are someone that is interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. If you are someone that wants to share your opinion on the first 24 hours of the Trump administration, go ahead and request up. If you are a Trump supporter, if you're MAGA, go ahead and request up. If you're MAGA, go ahead and request up, because you guys are the winners. You guys won. You guys are in power. You have the hammer, and your voice should be amplified. So if you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, please go ahead and request up. We will even make room for you on the panel if you are interested. Also, guys, keep tapping the screen, keep sharing the live out. Let's knock out the daily gift goal. It is the heart fingers. That'll help boost us, push us out to the FYP. And last but not least, we have $199 left in our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And it just got brought to my attention, Sean, so I'm going to come to you. But Sean, do I sound normal, or is there do I sound like there's helium or whatever?
When I was in the comments, yeah, it's a TikTok thing. It just does it. If you scroll out and scroll back in, you'll sound normal for like 2 minutes, and then you'll go back to sounding high pitched.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So guys, it's a TikTok glitch. It's a TikTok glitch. So if I sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks, and if you're too young to know who Alvin and the Chipmunks are, then you're too young to kick it. But if I sound like, I've had a helium balloon or anything like that, just scroll out for a second, come right back in, and it should be fine. With that being said, Sean, why is Trump okay with some T groups but not okay with other T groups?
I think that talking about Trump would be talking about the symptom and not the disease.
Okay.
We do have to remember this is a nation that allowed for the Triple K to play a movie in the White House and was declared heroes earlier in its earlier years. We're a nation who's had presidents that showed up to their inaugural ball with pregnant slaves. Like, this isn't something that's like new to the United States. They declare things that are T-word organizations and T-word groups when they go against certain people's agendas. And the agenda here in the United States has always been and will always be white supremacy. So anything that fights for that is an organization that helps the United States and is perfectly fine with the United States. Anything that hinders that is labeled a T-word organization in order to smear the name of it.
Absolutely. It's interesting to me how certain people fall within that category and that classification, but yet certain people are able to not only roam free but live a pretty good life. But so I'm gonna kick it over to Chris for a second, because Chris, you actually have a interesting perspective, at least in my opinion, right? You're someone who's served our country, and thank you for your service. But with that being said, what are your thoughts on the J6ers from the perspective of someone who took an oath to the country, and much like Donald Trump did yesterday, hand not touching the Bible, but he took an oath to the country, but he's willing to actually pardon 1,500 people who openly attacked the institutions of our great nation?
Well, there's literally no difference between what happened in Fort Sumter, right, of 1861 and what happened on January 6th, right? And what the crazy thing is that these January 6ers and MAGAs are spinning it as something that is supposedly necessary. And then you always want to ask the question, why? So you always hear the rhetoric, our Constitution got violated, but like you have no sufficient evidence that our 15th Amendment, which is our ability to vote, ever got violated. We have 63 court cases that say that the election ran smoothly and all these different things. And to go back to the military sentiment, yeah, it's extremely disrespectful because we always say, in the oath against all enemies, foreign and domestic, but people don't realize that we just got done fighting a 20-year endless war against a foreign threat, but the domestic threat's here right now as the commander-in-chief, literally stretching everything we know, right? Violating posse como status, freeing these guys, which is something that the founding fathers would have never endorsed, and anything like that. So I think this is the first time that Americans are having to deal with, hey, what is an actual domestic threat? And people don't know the difference right now.
That is an amazing point. I completely agree, and it's super interesting. I think a lot of people have a different perspective as far as like what they actually. I think there's revisionist history, honestly. I think that people don't realize how bad it was on that day. I remember watching what happened on January the 6th on TV and thinking, these people are out of their everlasting minds. What are they doing? And to watch them actually invade and tirade and for some reason not get how should I say this? Not get any backlash in real time. It was just, as a black man in America, it was interesting for me to watch. Diana, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I just like to point out that, like, on this topic, and I get a lot of shit for this, but I have yet to be proven wrong. The last time we had an attempt on our democracy that equaled this size was 9/11. So many people like to forget that. Everybody can very easily say 9/11 was a T-word attack. Everyone can say that. But for some reason they can't say it with this because everybody likes to forget that the fourth plane that went down in a field in Pennsylvania, that American citizens gave their lives to take down in defense of this country, was headed for the Capitol. It was headed for the Capitol. And then 20 years later, we had our own citizens doing this shit. We had them breaking the windows, smearing shit on the walls, hanging nooses, calling for the unaliving of our vice president and speaker of the House. They were chanting it. They were literally hunting them down. Like, the interviews of representatives afterwards talking about how they're having panic attacks because they shouldn't have worn heels that day in case they had to run for their lives should say something. And this is the people standing up for this and saying, yes, great, let's pardon all of these people, are the same people that claim so passionately that they are patriots of this country, that they stand for the Constitution, that they stand for the American flag. But when it actually comes to defending that, when it actually comes to standing up against people who have attacked that, they're hush hush quiet. Oh, it was this peace. It was a day of love.
It was a day of love.
Yeah,
a day of love. It was so peaceful. Hannah, what say you? Am I off base? Like, is it revisionist history by people, or why, or is it cognitive dissonance, or like, why do you think that? Or someone said it's gaslighting. Are we being gaslit? Like, what is? I'm so confused because maybe I'm misremembering. What do you think?
I think we are totally being gaslit. I also remember watching January 6th take place. And I will say, if that was any other group of people that weren't white conservatives, they would 100% be looked at as a T group. At least in my opinion.
Listen, you are
The
absolutely
January
right.
people who, invaded the Capitol on January 6th.
You are absolutely right. Hey, John, down in the chat, you've been a chatty patty, right? You have a lot to say in the comments, but you're not joining the panel. I promise you, I will make space for you, my friend. If you would like to give an opposing position, we want to hear your voice. I will amplify your voice. Everyone will go on mute, and we will give you center stage and the floor to speak. Request up. Bring you up? Okay, cool. Hey, Christopher.
Hey, Santana. I've actually got to go call my boss right now because
Okay.
he's on China time. But you can definitely. I'm gonna watch you flame this guy though.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you can
yeah.
swap me out.
All right.
Love
So you
y'all.
come back whenever you're ready.
Oh yeah.
John, go ahead. John, you got the floor. You got the floor, John. I sent you a request.
Oh, brother.
And John, why are you rejecting the request? You just said bring me up. John, don't do that. Olivia, are you a Trump supporter? Let's see here. Olivia, let's see. Let's see if Olivia has more spine in their steel in their spine than John. Olivia, are you someone who supports Donald Trump?
Hell no, I'm mad because I'm trying to figure out what happened. Last week.
Okay, hold on. We are looking for a Trump supporter at this time. You can request. You can come back up. I am more than welcome to bring you back up, but we're trying to get a Trump supporter on the panel. We have plenty of non-supporters at the moment. John said that he was actually going to come up. John put in the chat, bring me up. John actually said, bring me up. But John, where are you? You didn't request. You didn't accept my request. Did John leave? Aw, boo. Chat, put some tomatoes in the chat for John. I think John left. We cleared space for John, and John left. Listen, if you are a Trump supporter and you want to get in the box and you want to share your position and you want to tell us why you think that Donald Trump is off to a banging start, get in the box. Again, we will not. I will give you the floor. You will have an opportunity to speak. No one's going to mute you. No one's going to overtalk you. You will have the floor. With that being said, guys, keep tapping the screen. We're at 68,000 likes. Let's get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 200 shares. And last but not least, guys, we still have $199 left in our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Beach, I want to come to you. Beach, do you think the rest of the panel is off base as far as their remembrance of J6? Are we misremembering things? I mean, should they have been pardoned? Because Trump said that a lot of them were peaceful and basically they had already served their time. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, the exact definition of terrorism is, it's to push political agenda, and that's exactly what that was. They literally stormed a government building to try to prevent the certification of the election results. So no, we're not remembering it incorrectly. There is just this cognitive dissonance, and it's actually, if you think about it, it's actually in a very terrifying way. It's actually brilliant what he has been able to do,
right?
In terms of and these are, I work in a hospital. I'm a nurse, and there are some people that I work with that are Payless Putin supporters, and I'm like, you are so brilliant, and I just don't know how you can't see what is right in front of us. And I don't know how he did it. I don't know if he played into a very bigoted, hateful part of their, their mental space. I don't know, but it definitely was a really dark day, I think, for our democracy. And I think what's worse is how many people have tried to justify it or reshape it from what it actually is. It was terrorism.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely was. It absolutely was, and it's interesting that they're unwilling to call it what it was. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and again, I think multiple people has said this over and over and over, but um, something about that group, right? Something about that group that you know what? It's something about that group that I can't put my black fingers on. I don't know. Anyway, Phil, what do you think? What is your thoughts around Donald Jimothy Trump pardoning the J6ers?
So I think I have a little bit of an interesting perspective on this.
Mm-hmm.
I had only been out of prison for less than a year
Mm-hmm.
when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And in that year, I saw George Floyd, and then I saw J6 not even a year after. And it blew my mind whenever I looked at those two events happening that anybody would think for even a minute that the J6ers should be released, should be pardoned.
Mm-hmm.
I sat here and listened to people in Minnesota screaming about it,
Mm-hmm.
about how everything that happened with the J6, people were comparing it to George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
And that is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my time. I'm a felon and I did time in prison. And I met a bunch of, we'll say, interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting people who had right to mental health care that they didn't get. A bunch of people that should have had, oh, my brain just died, should have had the ability to get back out into society that will never have that. And instead, we're pardoning people who did an act of, I don't know if we can say the T word, so I'm just going to say the T word.
The T word. We know what you mean.
Yeah, and it's like there are people in our prison system right now that have the right to be out in the free world and have the right to mental health and have the right to all of these things that they need that they're being denied.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to sit here and pardon T words.
Yep.
That is insane to me.
It
I
absolutely is.
was baffled at the America I came out to when I got out of prison.
Mm.
And I'm even more baffled by it now.
Mm. Well, you know what? I've always known America the way that I've known America. So at least I wasn't shocked. Christopher, can you tell me what are your thoughts, right? Because again, when it happened, excuse me, when it happened, like I remember in real time watching it, and I was flabbergasted. But Christopher, something interesting happened right after January the 6th. Something interesting happened pretty much on like January the 7th. Everybody was aligned. And when I say everybody, I mean the Democrats and the Republicans were all aligned as far as condemning Trump, condemning the J6ers. They were all outrageous. Again, I was in South Carolina at the time, and Lindsey Graham, one of Trump's biggest supporters, was saying, oh, you know, this is a T attack. Trump should be held accountable, all of those other stuff. But somehow, some way, 4 years later, Trump is back in office, and the people who actually attacked the Capitol on January the 6th, they're now free. So what do you think about that, Christopher?
I have been thinking about this literally all day, actually, and the thing that really gets at me the most is it's frustration in the sense where um it goes back to when we're talking about MAGA as like this I'm trying to formulate what I want to see here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's like how MAGA's in a cult, and it's kind of just like I don't know, it's like one of those things where they're kind of
Brainwashed.
like, what's that?
Brainwashed.
Yes, yes, brainwashed.
Yeah, no, listen, I completely get you, and I agree, right? It's interesting to see MAGA or Trump supporters, the pivot they've done, right? From taking a stance, right? You know the phrase that's always been interesting to me, back the blue, right? Back the blue has always been interesting, more so because the Republican Party pretty much stood on that. Yeah, someone also said law and order. That was another one. Back the blue and law and order. The Republican Party stood on those two things. But as soon as it's their felon, as soon as it's their criminals, as soon as it's someone that they actually support, it's no longer law and order. It's no longer justice. It's no longer back the blue. They immediately shift to, well, it was rigged. Well, they didn't do anything. It was peaceful. The Justice Department was weaponized. And I have a hard time dealing with that. Phil, I want to come back to you for a second because you said something and I legitimately forgot before you said this, but Phil, I think we can agree like the justice system is not a fair system, right? It's not something that's equal to all. But with that being said, thinking about like you serving your time and people around you serving their time, do you think that if it was you or someone that you connected with while doing your time, would it be a situation where you guys would be pardoned as easily as these people were if it were not for the act that the act that they committed in the name of who they committed it for?
So I want to answer your question by explaining something. As a felon, I have still to this day less rights than most people.
Mm-hmm.
I have been denied loans. I have been denied housing. I have been denied jobs. I have been denied all kinds of things because I am a felon.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that my crime was ridiculous. And I'm not ever going to say that I did not deserve the time because we did commit the crime. I did my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand how these people who've committed this crime can not only get out of prison, but when they're pardoned, they no longer have the restrictions that felons have on them.
Absolutely.
So that's something that I don't think people are thinking about necessarily because it's not something that the average American is exposed to. These people, not only are they getting out of prison, but they will no longer be denied jobs, loans, housing, rights.
Yep.
This is the first election I got to vote in.
Yep.
I'm 29.
Mm-hmm.
I had to think about that for a second. But I am 29, and this is the first election I was allowed to vote in.
Absolutely, absolutely. That it's interesting, and the fact that again, it's just like the slate is wiped clean for them. They're indemnified for their actions. It's a whole interesting thing. We have two new people on the panel. Lisa, how are you? Lisa, if you can't see me, I cannot hear you. You have to come back and you have to actually be able to see my face, see my wonderful background. If you can't see me, we can't hear you if you're speaking, Lisa. Lisa Dips, are you there? Lisa Dips, you have to swipe back into the app. If you can't see me, then we cannot hear you. Lisa might be getting a phone call or something along those lines. Lisa, if you can hear me, I'm going to drop you down. You can request back up, and we will go from there. Is it Guinevere? Is that how you say
Yeah, it's Guinevere, and I didn't mean to request up. I was just really enjoying the conversation.
Okay. Well,
And
hey, you're
I'm
here. Do you want to share your
living
opinion?
No,
Okay.
I didn't get enough of it to really have much of an opinion. And I live in California, and
Mm-hmm.
It's only 9 o'clock here, a little bit after 9, and so I was just kind of wrapping up for the day and wanted to hear what you had to say. So if you don't mind dropping me down, I'll just continue
Absolutely.
to listen.
Absolutely. No worries.
And
I
I
will drop you down.
and thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hmm.
Guys, keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 100,000 likes, and I don't know if you guys. I've said this lately, right? And I don't know what it is, but it seems like since TikTok came back, that the chat thinks that like the TikTok, like I know there's an issue with the coins and all this other stuff, and there's glitches and just everything's happening. But I think that the chat thinks that they have to pay for likes. You don't. Right? We can all just tap the screen, share the live out, do all the wonderful things. So let's get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Let's get those likes moving. Let's get the shares up to 250 shares. Let's get the shares up to 250 shares. We do have a couple of spots open on the panel. I would love to get someone on the panel who is a Trump supporter that would love to give their perspective of how this Trump administration is rolling out so far. So if you are someone who supports Donald Trump and you would like to give your opinion, you have a spot. You definitely have a spot. Also, guys, we still have $199 left in our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. So we have two new people on the panel. I'm going to start with Michelle. Michelle, how are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Michelle, are you a Trump supporter? And what are your thoughts on the first 24 hours under the new Trump administration?
Okay, so no, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I just wanted to come up. I've been listening to you for a very long time, and I really enjoy your lives. And I, normally just like let you all flow and everything, but I just hopped on about maybe 20 minutes ago, and y'all were talking about the tea on January 6th.
Yeah,
or I don't even know if I can say that. But anyway, I noticed today that the hypocrisy of him talking about Biden
pardoning his family.
Yes, the people, and he was talking about how they had killed this person had I'm so sorry. Unalived two people from I don't know if I can say it, from the FBI. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say FBI.
Okay. Yeah. So this person, he was a Native American, and he's like 80 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
And this was years and years and years, and it was like 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he pardoned this man. And, he did do a horrible crime, but, it's just, to me, it's like so hypocritical of him to, be giving Biden a hard time about pardoning this one man. I mean, I know he pardoned other people too, but he was like specifically talking about this one pardon that Biden had done. But then he turns around and then the next sentence talks about his hostages from J6. So I don't know. I just wanted to come up and bring that up real quick and tell y'all how much I love listening to y'all talk. So it's amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm looking for. I heard the story as far as who it was. I'm looking for his name specifically. I know exactly what you're talking about. But the interesting thing to me, right, is that apparently Trump was super upset, right? He was really upset about the pardons that Joe Biden gave out. So much so that he texted reporters and said that basically it was a bunch of BS. Thank you for the heart me. Said it was a bunch of BS, and he was really upset that Biden pardoned members of his family, and that got me thinking, was he so upset because he had plans on targeting the family and now he can't?
Right.
Like,
He
what
outwardly
made
said
him so
that.
upset?
He's outwardly said about 1,000,000 times that he fully planned to go after the Biden family, the Harris family, any of the, what was the quote that he referred to? The enemy from within. He fully laid it out and planned to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I just thought it was very hypocritical, and I wish I knew. I'm feeding my animals. I'm getting like ready to head to bed for the night, but I wish I knew his name. But yeah, as soon as you all were talking about that, I was like, that it just
Leonard,
sparks that in my mind. It's
Leonard,
literally
Leonard. No, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the one that pardoned him. Leonard Peddler.
Healthcare.
Yeah.
yeah. That's definitely
50 years in
yeah.
prison,
Biden.
convicting for unaliving FBI agents in South Dakota. He escaped federal prison in 1979 while serving his sentence for two unalivings. He was an activist. He proclaimed that he was innocent. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
it's an
know.
interesting story.
It absolutely is, and again, for me, I more so lean on the fact that I do agree that there should be some type of limits on the pardoning power of the president. But
Yeah.
also, with that being said, the fact that Trump is willing to weaponize the Justice Department and target people who haven't done anything wrong, right? I mean, the fact that Joe Biden had to pardon, what's his name? Anthony Fauci is absolutely insane, right? Like, because he was worried that Trump was going to come after him. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Hang on. Did Leonard get pardoned or did he get his sentence commuted?
Yeah,
Was he one of the people on the because Biden
it was
commuted
commuted. I'm sorry, he wasn't
yeah.
pardoned. His sentence was commuted.
Oh,
Yeah, so reasonings behind that was he commuted a lot of prisoners that were on unaliving row due to his direct, opposition of that sentence. Except for, I think he left a few people on there that were like the guy that did the Boston thing and people connected with 9/11, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Don't quote me.
So it was commuted. It wasn't pardoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
So he'll still have it on his record. And all of that, he just won't unalive for the crimes he's committed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, I'm sorry for bringing that and not having the right
No,
information.
you're good. I'm glad that you brought that up. Listen, Tim, I see what you're saying. Your kids are in the room with you. You can't talk. Tim, if you can't talk, you know what? This is what we're going to do, Tim. You say you can't talk. Your kids are in the room with you. We're going to just go ahead and put a muzzle on you. So you can't talk in the chat. You can keep listening. Or whenever your kids leave the room or you leave the room with the kids, you are more than welcome to come up on the panel and actually speak for yourself instead of actually being, a thumb warrior. Yeah, exactly. Chocolate Bear, how are you?
Hey, we Gucci over here.
I know that's right. Chocolate Bear, are you a Trump supporter? And what do you think about the first 24 hours under this new Trump administration?
First things first, I want to tell you, I listened to you crashing out on those MAGA lives. I think I sent you a DM letting you know I appreciate it. Got me through my day at work. But
Listen,
yeah, I love it.
I screen recorded it, and then I realized that for some reason the screen record didn't pick up on my mic, and it was a good one, and I couldn't get anybody. After that, apparently they started to kind of realize who I was, and so they stopped letting me up. So yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, they kicked you, didn't they?
I missed.
Yeah, they did. They
crashed
did.
out. That's iconic.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna be transparent. Whatever. Again, the burden of proof is on MAGA. Like, they have the power. MAGA, you have the power. You have the responsibility. So what I am doing is doing what MAGA has done for the next 4 years or the next 74 days, whichever one comes first. I am going into MAGA lives. So if you're not following my backup, follow my backup. I am going into MAGA lives, and I will make them account for every single claim that I have. I want to know, why has the gas prices been so high this entire Trump administration? I want to know, why did I go to my local grocery store and I had to pay $15 for a gallon of eggs? Yes, I said a gallon of eggs. I want to understand why Donald Trump has open borders. And MAGA is gonna tell me about all of those things. But that's another story for another time. Anyway, go ahead,
But
Chocolate Bear.
to answer your question, I am absolutely not a Trump supporter. Um, First, would you say 48 hours?
What do you think about the first 24 hours under the
24 hours?
Trump administration?
Absolute train wreck. Absolute train wreck. Tying back into the J6, I was actually working in a predominantly YT male space as a diesel mechanic. And I remember watching it on my phone, and all I hear is bursts of cheers from every YT male in that shop.
Did you say cheers?
Cheers.
Cheers.
They were absolutely happy that it happened because every single one of them believed that the election was stolen, and that this clown should have still been president. I mean, I'm talking about the same shop that I've been called the N-word several times. No, none of the management would do anything about it. It was at that point in time like, yeah, it's time to go. And I left. But yeah, I will never forget that day because of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny you tell that story because I have not that story, but somewhat of a similar story. I remember back in 2016 when I realized that I needed to get rid of my Facebook account because I was very much loud and proud as I am right now, and I realized that the people that I work with were avid Trump supporters, so much so that they used to like print out pictures of Trump on top of like a tank with like eagles, and they would just post them around the office and all kind of weird stuff. And I was like, oh, my mouth is gonna get me in trouble. So I had to get rid of my Facebook account then because I realized that's not the place for me to be able to share that opinion. So I get what you're saying as far as being in that space where things are a little bit tricky. With that being said, guys, W's in the chat for Justin. Justin sent a $20 donation to say, happy to see you on YouTube's. You're awesome. Justin, thank you for following me over on the YouTube's. YouTube, what up? I'm also live streaming on Twitch as well, guys. If you look at the bottom corner of my screen, I do have my Blue Sky, my Twitch, and my YouTube. All three of them are there. Make sure you follow me on Blue Sky, Twitch, and YouTube. But with that being said, guys, we are now only $179 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. There's 500 something people here with us right now. If 179 people send $1, we can close out our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Anything is accepted. Everything is appreciated. KP, how are you?
I'm doing good, Santana. How are you?
Good. KP, are you a Trump supporter? And what do you think about the first 24 hours under the new Trump administration?
First, absolutely not. Second off, before I get into that, I just wanted to give you a shout out, man, because out of all the lives that I've been in, whether that be Democrat or MAGA lives, you have by far one of the best formats there is. You let people speak. Go person by person, and I just want to say it's one of the most cordial lives I've ever been in.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We try to keep it. Listen, the thing that you might not know, and Sean, right? Sean, I know Sean knows, because Sean, you know what we do here, right, Sean?
Oh yeah,
Sean,
of course.
Yeah. So okay, I just wanted to make sure. So you might not know this, KP, but around here, and Sean will tell you that we are very mindful. We are very cutesy. Sean, we are what?
Very demure.
Very demure. Very mindful.
Always. Thank you for that. KP, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Well, just your question about the first 24 hours. It's been an absolute disgrace, absolute dumpster fire. I mean, one of the first things that our president-elect said, well, current president now, said was about transgender people. Like, 2% of our population, and he is demonizing them on a stage in front of all of his followers. I think that it's abhorrent. It's disgusting.
But
And
KP, you know why that is, though, right?
oh yeah, I mean, I think it's a distraction from what he's really trying to get done. And then just the amount of people that I've seen, whether that be on like Fox News comments on TikTok, cheering for the rescindment of Biden's executive orders just because it's Biden's executive orders, not even taking into account the fact that some of these things were prescription drug costs and stuff like that. That's just good for everybody, regardless of your party. And I'm just the Paris Climate Accords, World Health Organization, all of that stuff really worries me. And it's not something, frankly, that I should be having to worry about at 24 years old.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to get into that in a minute, because one of the topics, of course, is the slew of executive orders. And I completely agree, right? I will say this. I think that everything that Donald Trump has done and everything that Donald Trump is doing is for one of two reasons, whether it's talking about transgender people, or whether it's talking about the Gulf of America, or whether it's talking about the Panama Canal. Like, all of that is occurring because one of two reasons. Either Donald Trump is trying to distract people from all of the bad stuff that he's actually doing, like pulling us out of the Paris Climate Accords, like pulling us out of the World Health Organization, like actually putting all of the people that are federal DEI employees on paid leave so he can actually lay them off. Like, he's doing so much to actually distract us, or in certain instances, he's trying to distract us from realizing that he can't actually lower the price of gas, of eggs, of rent. He can't live up to most of those promises that he made. So those two things are happening, and we're going to get into some of those executive orders. Let me read these two off, and then I want to come to Olivia, and then of course we got Lady Ball up here, and I want to keep passing it around the panel and making sure that we are able to actually have this conversation. With that being said, guys, Debbie's in the chat for Harmony. Harmony sent a $2 donation towards the nightly donation goal. And also, guys, W's in the chat for Kathy. Kathy sent a $5 donation saying, big fan, keep up the work. Keep up the good work. Kathy, thank you so much. You are so kind. Thank you for the kind words. Guys, that means we're only $172 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, which is down in the corner of the screen. It is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. With that being said, let's do the quick introductions. Let's introduce all three of the people on the panel, and then I'm going to let you speak first, Olivia. So let's do this. Well, I'll come to you last, Olivia. Lady Ball, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Lady Ball, can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter? And what do you think about the first 24 hours under this Trump administration?
No, I am not a Trump supporter. And the first 24 hours have been mind-blowing. But nothing that I didn't expect. You know, he is showing us, he's not showing us his true colors. Those are his colors. And nothing has changed. He meant what he said, and he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
I know that's right.
And if we put the covers over our eyes and didn't believe it, then that's on us.
Yep. Listen, the thing that I've noticed, Lady Ball, and I don't know if you've gotten this yet. So, you know, Lady Ball, I know you know, right? You've seen a couple of presidents before, and the two-term presidents, right? I've always noticed, like, their first term, they're working, they're buttoned up, they're trying to get reelected. But when that second term rolls around, they don't give a flying flip. And I've heard Donald Trump speak multiple times since actually being sworn in as the president of the United States, and I know a man who has no more F's to give when I hear one. Did you pick up on that?
I feel that. And the thing about it is that you can tell by when he was signing those executive orders. I don't even believe he knows what's in those orders.
I don't think so either. I don't.
I think he just somebody wrote those orders for him, because you know that is not even his mindset. That's above his educational grade level. Somebody wrote them and they put them on his desk. He signed them. He's not even understanding what the consequences are going to be, because he has no idea what was in those orders.
I know that's right. Thank you, Lady Ball. Callbug, how are you? Or Cowbug, I'm sorry. Cowbug.
No, you're fine. I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Cowbug, are you a Trump supporter? And what are your thoughts on the first 24 hours under this new Trump administration?
Definitely not a Trump supporter at all. I'm sure that I'm most like a lot of us that are like almost sick to our stomachs of what's happening and the things that happened in the first 24 hours. The one thing I will say that I did not expect immediately is that he is changing. He is taking away the $35 for the insulin, and it's going to be raised anywhere from 400% to 4,200%. And I have a sister that I lost my sister over MAGA. That my niece, who's special needs, lives with my sister, is dependent on insulin. And I tried to explain things to her of what would happen. She disowned me. And I'm absolutely sick to my stomach, not just for her, but what these, anyone that's dependent on insulin, this is just an atrocious thing that's happening. That how could he do that just like that?
I tell you what, like, so this is the thing, right? So this is the thing. We told them what was going to happen. Like, we explained to them what was going to happen. Like, we gave them, I know for a fact. Sean, did you want to say something before you take off?
No, I'm good. I appreciate you.
Okay, you know you're always welcome. Guys, W's in the chat for Sean. We love Sean. Thank you, Sean. Listen, we told them for sure, like, what was going to happen. Like, I know for a fact that myself and other creators, whether it was, Jessica Simone, whether it was Erica, whether it was Good Trouble, whether it was Parker, whether it was Dean, whether it was, Adam, whether it was Fax or Mr. Jones X, like, I heard so many creators say the same thing over and over and over and over. Like, hey, this is going to be bad. Trump is going to do X, Y, or Z. This is going to be harmful to you. He is not going to benefit you. And the first thing he did, the first opportunity that he got to actually, yes, Hector as well. The first opportunity he got to be harmful, he did it. And it wasn't even the executive orders. Donald Trump, all of his supporters were super excited about inauguration. They all bought tickets, they booked flights, they drove. I saw this thing where people were saying, I drove 5,000 miles to get here. People came from out of the country to come to his inauguration. For Donald Trump to turn around and say, it's cold. It's too cold for me to be outside, which we know for a fact that if Donald Trump won't go to the grave of fallen soldiers because it's raining, why would he stand outside when he could just move his inauguration inside and be warm? And not only did he move his inauguration inside to be warm where his supporters couldn't be there, but we had the oligarchy front and center. We had Jeff Bezos. We had Elon Musk. We had Mark Zuckerberg. We had the CEO of Google. We had the CEO of TikToks. All of the oligarchs were in there with, yes, they were in there with them, safe, warm, and Donald Trump turned his back on his constituents, and that was just the appetizer. And to your point, he immediately started signing executive orders to hurt so many people.
Yes, Santana, this is something I want to kind of really bring a point home. My sister is on disability. My niece is on disability and Medicaid. This is my special needs niece. And she depends on insulin. She's been a type 1 diabetic. I try to have a conversation with her to say, I'm so worried about you, and her name's Allie. I'm so worried about you and Albug. And she literally came at me with full chest out
Yep.
and disowned me.
Yep.
And I just like, I just wanted to help. I wanted her to understand what she was voting for, and she disowned me over this. And she is one of the MAGAs, I'm sorry to say, very uneducated, doesn't even pay attention to news, only pays attention to Facebook of what others post on Facebook. And now she's going to be suffering because of she's just not educated, and she's MAGA everything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're seeing is full amount of MAGAs that there's nothing he could do that will ever upset them or make them say, oh, whoa, this is not right. No, you should not be doing that. No, he speaks, they believe.
Yep. Listen, I'm telling you, they're not going to turn away. It's too late. They're too invested. The thing that I've learned about MAGA is it's a part of their identity now, right?
1,000%.
And think about it, chat. And Olivia, I'm coming to you next, and I'm sorry to kind of centralize the conversation, but think about it, chat. When you do something that becomes so ingrained in who you are, right? For months now, every single day, I come online and I'm here with my community, no matter if I'm late nights with Santana, sparring with Santana, whether it's brunch with my creator, whether I'm hopping on someone else's panel. This has become an integral part of who I am and what I do, right? And so I can only imagine if I had been doing this for years, for 9 years, and TikTok was about to be banned, I can only imagine how certain people who had been doing this for so long and it was getting ready to be taken away, how they could feel. That has to be how MAGA feels and how they felt for so long. So there's nothing that certain people can say nor do or anything. We know that TikTok has its quote unquote quirks, right? We know that TikTok can do this or do that, but we still love the TikTok. And it's the same thing. They know that Donald Trump can do X or Y or Z, but they still love Trump because it's so ingrained in who they are and what they do. So you said a word. I'm sorry to monopolize the conversation. Let me read this off real quick, guys. W's in the chat for Julie. Julie sent a $7 donation and says, great panel tonight. Julie, thank you so much for the $7. It's a great panel because you're here. It's a great panel because everyone is here. Guys, that means we only have $165 left in our nightly donation goals. Guys, there's 456 people watching right now. And if we add the people in on the YouTubes and the Twitch, there's even more. So guys, if 165 people send $1, we can close out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, Santana Speaks 24, which is in the corner of the screen. It is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Olivia, how are you? Again, are you a Trump supporter? And what are your thoughts over these last 24 hours under this new Trump administration?
Hi, you dropped me earlier. You were like,
Yeah, I remember. I know. I still have to do it again. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So you said, where am I from again?
No. Are you a Trump supporter? Which I already know the answer, but still say it again for everybody. And what are your thoughts on the first 24 hours under this new Trump administration?
No, I'm not a Trump supporter. I support Kamala. My thoughts is he lied like I knew he would, It's crazy because like I was trying to give you an example earlier. When I went to the store last week, and I might cry because this is emotional. I tried to go buy some eggs last week right when Biden was president. And the eggs was like, $1. It did, the other day when I went to the store again when Trump became president, Santana, them eggs was $60, bro. Like, it's just so stressful. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just feel like everything he's done so far is just a disaster. Like, he's just ruining everything already.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I think that Donald Trump is definitely quote unquote ruining things, but I think it's more so in a serious sense, right? Don't get me wrong. I love a good troll, right? And I do have a great sense of humor as well. Um, but like this isn't the place for the jokes. I mean, I understand that prices are higher and people are hurting and things are expensive. Um, I'm sorry that wasn't funny. Would you like to really share your thoughts on the first 24 hours under the Trump administration?
It's really a disaster, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, it's enough to really say. I mean, I ain't gonna lie though, I really didn't think he would do some of the stuff that he said he would, because sometimes he
Tell me
do just be
why.
saying stuff. I don't know. Some of the stuff just sound like absurd, so I didn't think he really was gonna like go through with some of this stuff, but apparently he really did. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. The super interesting thing to me is that a lot of people are under the actual thought process that he wasn't gonna actually do these things, and that's been the part that I've struggled with the most, right? The Sorry about that, chat. That's the thing that I've struggled with the most is that a lot of people didn't necessarily believe Trump when he said that he was going to do these things. And as soon as he gets in office, I spoke with a lot of Trump supporters, Olivia, and a lot of Trump supporters is like, oh, I know he said he's going to do that, but I really don't think he is. Oh, I know he said that, but I don't think he's really going to do that. And the unfortunate part is that we're now all in the find out portion of the equation. And it's not just people that actually voted for him, but it's everyone, right? So I know you were being facetious about the cost of eggs, but technically, yes, the cost of eggs has gone up. Even though it's been 24 hours, literally the average cost of eggs has gone up by 40 cents since yesterday. So technically, yes, eggs are more expensive under Donald Trump than they were under Joe Biden, and it's actually projected that not only the cost of eggs but additional goods will continue to rise under the Trump administration. So it's super interesting how things actually lay out.
My other thing is, even when he's out of office, these businesses are not gonna be like, well, guys, since he's out, let's go ahead and drop the prices back down. No, they're gonna keep
Doesn't
them
work
up.
that way. Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
just think nothing will ever be affordable again, like probably ever again.
Yeah, well, so the thing that I love to call out is, Kamala Harris had a plan for price gouging, right? Because the simple fact of the matter is the president doesn't control the cost of eggs, right? But there are certain companies that do take advantage of inflation and actually overcharge their customer base. And so at the very least, being able to put in price gouging laws would have been beneficial, but that was an opportunity that was missed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me read these off, guys. W's in the chat for Nancy. Nancy sent a $2 donation. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Let me read this off. W's in the chat for Nancy. Nancy sent a $2 donation to say to help with the goal. Nancy, you are so freaking amazing, so kind. Thank you so much for that donation. And also, guys, W's in the chat for Damon. Damon sent a $20 donation. Massive, massive W's in the chat for Damon. Thank you so much for that donation. Guys, we are now only $143 away from closing out our nightly goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live, guys.
Hey, Santana. I'm not seeing the chat. Is there a reason I'm not able to see what's happening in the chat?
It might just be you. Swipe out and then come back. Like, don't leave the app, but just swipe out for a second and then come back, and you should be able to see it.
Sure thing.
I'll just say this real quick before I get to my amazing, wonderful, smart, funny, courageous, strong friend. But before I get to her, I just want to say, again, I enjoy jokes. I enjoy being facetious. I enjoy laughing. But there's always a time and a place for a lot of different things. And yeah, hopefully Olivia's still listening and watching. And we would love to have you back at some point if you want to add more to the conversation. With that being said, I'm going to flip it over to the Black historian. Hey, Shay, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Shay, are you a Trump supporter? And what do you think about the first 24 hours under this new Trump administration?
No, I don't support that orange Cheeto. I didn't watch the inauguration. I've just heard about some of the stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
How I feel about it, I think it just really set in today that they didn't really try to stop him from doing this stuff. So I haven't been being civil to anybody that voted for Trump because this is what's going to come. And when it really hits the fan for you and you're going to be asking liberals who actually had the money, who weren't complaining about the price of eggs or the price of gas, because we knew it was something that we were going to go through until it balanced itself back out. Don't come asking us for help or fundraise or do anything. I'm not contributing. I'm sorry. I know the price of meds are going to go up. I have a mom I have to think about now. I have family that didn't need my help before will probably need my help now.
Yep. I tell you, it's a tough situation, and again, so this is the thing that bothers me, because I feel like certain people, the part that bothered me is before the election, when I talked to people that were planning on voting for Kamala Harris, they were always voting for Kamala Harris for this person or for that person or to help with this or because they wanted to see that. And then when I talked to people who voted for Donald Trump or were voting for Donald Trump, it was because I want this and I need that and I need that. But now we are definitely in a situation where it's not I anymore. It's going to be we. It's going to be we, and everyone is going to feel the pressure. And no matter how well you are, unless you are super wealthy, unless you are in a great spot, you're going to be one of the few people one of the many people that feel that squeeze, and we're going to need each other more than ever. And the tough part about that is there is a lot of people who are just going to say no. And I can't blame those people that just are going to say no. So you are on it. Guys, W's in the chat for Holly. Holly sent a $5 donation. Holly sent a $5 donation to say, my Trumpy parents on insulin. I told them. So that's like it's super interesting. Like when the actual find out portion of this equation will be studied in the history books. You think I'm joking? I am not joking.
It's not.
Like the people that are getting ready to find out, this is going to be historical. And I'm not even being hyperbolic.
Yeah, I have a question for those people. I have a question. So when insulin goes up and they're going to need money, who do you think they're going to come and ask that money for? Who do you think they're going to come for? So do you give them the money to get the insulin? But that's what they voted for, and that's your parent. Or do you just, unfortunately let them just find out the hard way, sell some stuff, or maybe self-delete? Because I'm like...
Yeah, that's a hard decision.
Yeah.
For
no,
sure.
I would... Holly, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, Holly, if you're in the chat, if you had an opportunity to hear the Black Historian's question, I would actually love to hear your answer to that one, because I mean, I know what I would say, but saying something and doing something are two different things, and it's hard to actually say which one I would actually do, Shay. I mean, if I'm going to be honest.
Can we discuss how despicable this is, that Trump would literally take this down to stripping away for these Americans to be able to have insulin at $35, and all of a sudden he's like, nope, you're going to pay at least 400% to 4,200%, and it's like, how low can he go? Like, how is it? There's no like any conscience of anybody that is struggling in life and they depend on this. They need insulin to be alive. And my niece is one of them. She's type 1 diabetic since 2 years old. She's 36 years old. And it's just deplorable. And the Republicans, the MAGAs are gonna be like, no big deal. You can deal with it. We're in a place that this is just the beginning of what he's going to do. And I do want to add one thing about the J6ers of what he did. Michael Fofane, I think it's his name, Fofane, the police officer that was beat so much. He was one of the ones that testified. He's had death threats for years, even when they've been all imprisoned. Death threats, and his mother has had death threats, and now he's out like, I don't know how to protect my family. It's just unconscionable that he has done this, and he doesn't care. He's just like, go after them, just like John Bolton taking away the Secret Service. Go after him. Go ahead. Go see what happens to him. This is just a horrible thing, and it's just the beginning.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Fasone, thank you so much, Fasone.
Hey, Santana.
Yeah, yes.
Hey, I got to get going.
Okay.
I got work in the morning.
Okay.
But what I wanted to say is, as some of you guys in Discord may know, Santana, you know, my grandmother recently passed away.
Right.
And of course, I've been devastated about it.
So sorry to hear that.
Thank you. But after the whole insulin thing, she was 85 years old, insulin dependent.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually glad that she does not have to suffer through that. She can not be in pain and rest peacefully knowing that she doesn't have to deal with this Mango Mussolini crap.
Hey, that's my line. Yeah, no.
But I will say, like, everybody in the Discord that I've talked to about it, you guys have been freaking amazing, and I'm glad to be part of the community. But yeah, I am gonna drop down, get to bed so I can work in the morning. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, rest well, my brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I'm leaving too. I have to get up early.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah,
But
you never come hang out with me anymore. You too good for me.
you know what? I can hang out maybe next week. I did get a new job, but I may be able to hang out
Hey,
Friday.
W's in the chat for the Black Historian. Hey, money. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I may take off a day next week, and I can stay up and hang out with you.
I tell you what, I'm thinking about taking off next week as well, because next week is my birthday, so I might actually I'm thinking about putting some time in and trying to see if I can convince management to, fly me out. I'm trying to get flew out, Shay. So I don't know.
I will be listening later. But I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be up tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Guys, I want to read this off real quick. Guys, W's in the chat for Kimberly. Kimberly sent a $5 donation, said, do you think that other meds like SSRIs will go up? I'm dependent critically to stay alive. Listen, Kimberly, so I was trying to find research on that, and I couldn't necessarily find anything. I'm going to kick this to Kay, because Kay is smart. Like, if people don't know that, but Kay is smart. Kay, I don't know if you want to come up, or if you could either drop some information in the chat, or maybe if you can find something and you can send it to me in Discord and I can read it off. But that's something that is being questioned. Hey, Kay.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So currently right now, mental health medication is not being affected by any EO. SSRIs, some of them are so old that their patents are done and they're available in generics. Others that are not are available with paid partnerships from the pharmaceutical companies. It would be very wise to get onto those patient platforms now. Do not wait. Contact manufacturers. Contact there. I'm going to list in the Discord, and we will try to also do a little bit of rundown of some organizations like the PAN organization and the Health Well organization that give grants for all sorts of different medications. And a lot of those grants, a lot of people don't know about them and they don't seek them out, so they don't use them. So we're going to try to really make sure that we get into that. If you need resources, especially for mental health medication, please give me a DM and I will be putting more stuff in the next couple days over the Discord. But right now, SSRIs are not being affected. I know that there was going to be a push depending on who ends up in select cabinet positions. But I do think that there has been a long proven effectiveness. It's going to be really hard to change that.
Perfect. Thank you so
I'm not
much,
a Trump
Kay.
supporter. Sorry, I didn't answer the question.
No, you absolutely did. Thank you so much. Guys, W's in the chat for Kay. W's in the chat for Kay. Thank you, Kay. Also, let me read this off. W's in the chat for Maribel. Maribel sent a $3 donation, says, I will take great pride in saying no to them. Listen, some people say they standing on business. I can't blame you if you're going to be one of those ones that definitely stands on business. Guys, with that being said, we still have $127 left in our nightly donation goal. $127 left in our nightly donation goal. There is 400 people watching. If 127 people send $1, we can knock this out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Keep tapping the screen, guys. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 150,000 likes. Let's also get the shares up. Let's get the shares up to 300 shares. Let's introduce the new people. Well, before we do this, Brett, did you come to actually add anything of any substance, or were you coming up here to be a troll? I just need to know before I keep the panel rolling.
Why you think I'm always here to troll?
Because that's what you do.
I'm here for conversation.
Okay. How are you doing?
Not good, but
really,
we're here. Yeah, we had another threat today, man. That's 3 in the past 4 school days.
What happened?
Somebody made a Instagram account that was entitled Uvalde High School Pew Pewer and posted a threat. And our school is still going to stay open tomorrow.
That is insane.
Yeah, and I caught a 7-dayer on my main account for bullying the Uvalde Independent School District.
Oh wow! No appeal.
Nah. So it's been a day, man.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well,
Brett, I did.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, brother. I was just gonna say I did get my website up, brother.
So. Hey, what's the website?
It's brettcross.com.
Brettcross.com. Brettcross.com. What can we buy on brettcross.com?
Oh, look, brother. It's great.
Hey, Brett, will you send me a DM? I want to talk to you about something involving that Instagram.
Absolutely.
All right, so guys, disregard like the ugly face on the front and let's look at the actual website. Don't worry about like, I know it hurts your eyes. I know that hurts your eyes, but let's focus on what's on the site. Okay.
Oh no, you gotta click on and see what the shirts say though, especially that white one.
What do you mean? This one?
Yeah, click on it so you can see it up close and personal.
Oh. I can't put that on the TikTok, you trying to get me?
No. I did it all night tonight. You're good. They ain't gonna catch you for it.
I know. Oh, and you have all the different colors.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I think I'm gonna order me and management something from here.
Let's go.
And you know what? I think I'm gonna order this one and only wear it to the gym so I get sweat all over you.
Let's go.
Like that's what I think I'm gonna do. I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. All right, Brett, you're on the panel. You're already talking. Let's go ahead and run through this. Brett, are you a Trump supporter? And what do you think about the first 24 hours under this new Trump administration?
Not no, but hell no. First and foremost. And no, the first 24 hours have been wild, right? There's been so many executive orders that are just detrimental to everybody. He's making executive orders saying that my friends and family no longer exist.
What do you mean? Explain that to the chat.
So he made an executive order saying that there's only two genders.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of my friends and family no longer exist, I guess, in the eyes of the government, which is terrible. And he even screwed that whole executive order up too, because the wording means that we're all women, because he doesn't know how to write or hire people that know how to write. They also took down the website for the Office of Gun Violence Prevention.
Did they? Listen, they've been taking down a lot of different websites. I know they also took down, what was it, the reproductive
rights.
Yeah.
They took down the Spanish version of the WhiteHouse.gov.
And then they also take down the Constitution from the WhiteHouse.gov as well?
Correct.
Yep.
Oh, it's getting wicked. It's getting wicked, Brett.
Oh, yeah. 100%, man.
Oh, okay. Hold tight for me a second. Let me get to the other two people real quick on the panel, and then I think we're going to go ahead and, once we get to the other two people, and then we're going to move it around, and I think this might be what we roll with. Izzy, how are you?
Pretty good. Just wrapped up my homework for the night. I'm officially a college student at 29 years old.
W's in the chat for Izzy. Listen, you're never too old to learn. Ever.
And unfortunately, I am taking political science this semester, so it will be very interesting. The first two discussion boards, the first one was immigration policy and immigration reform. Whether you support it, don't support it, whatever your opinions are on it. So I've just been doing what we do on out here in the TikTok streets and laying out the simple facts of what everything is. The second topic was pew pew control. So you already know that I had a lot to say about that. Oh,
had it on Smash.
I'm the first response. It's the first response that people are going to be reading over the next couple weeks, and I think I'm not going to be. There's a good chance I'm not going to be very well liked in my class, but fuck it.
Yeah, listen, they ain't gotta like you, but they gotta respect you. So that's all that really matters.
Oh man, I was putting links to researches, dropping House resolutions, U.S. codes, everything about it.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see what happens and how you do. Listen, I don't know if that's your passion. I would assume if you decided to go to college at this age for that specifically, it has to be your passion. But I am super excited to see how things develop for you.
Oh no, I'm going for a biology degree. This is a mandatory class that I have to take. Yeah.
Why do you have to take this with biology?
Gen Ed. Okay. Dude, I'm starting as a freshman.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know much about the science.
Well, so I'm going to school in Texas, and they mandate that you take one semester of federal political science and one of Texas state political science.
Okay.
But no, I'm going for a biology degree so I can go to med school.
Okay. Sounds good. Izzy, are you a Trump supporter, and what do you think about the first 24 hours under the new Trump administration?
Absolutely fucking not. The first 24 hours, honestly, Brett took the words right out of my mouth, right?
Brett,
The
Brett,
exec.
Brett is always trying to steal somebody's shine. That's it.
Be careful, or I'll take the food out your mouth too.
But yeah, the executive orders are absolute fucking overkill.
Yeah.
Like Brett said, right? He's not even smart enough to be able to hire people to write his shit for him, because he obviously definitely has ghostwriters, right?
Mhm.
They wrote that entire executive order up regarding gender and SX, right?
Mhm.
They looked at that. At least there were multiple people that looked at it, proofread it. They looked at that seasonless, fucking whatever dish, and said, "Yeah, we absolutely fucking cooked with this."
Mhm.
And everyone that knows anything about biology is laughing at them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead and finish.
I was just gonna say, right? They are so blinded by their own bigotry
Mhm.
that they refuse to see the reality and the facts that are right in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the simple fact that this is the thing that bothers me, right? This is the thing that always bothers me about the gender conversation, right? And when you talk about transgender people or things like that, they, by you passing this executive order, does that mean that there's only two genders? Right? Like that's the thing that bothers me. Just because you actually say, "Oh, you're the only ones to recognize," like they're not saying that there's only two genders. They're saying that's only two that's recognized, but then you're harming other people, and you understand that. Like it blows my mind. Just because you say this is all that's recognized, it doesn't mean that's it. So I don't know. That's something like it's insane. So
In his eyes, it is though.
Santana, please let me get on to this.
Phil, you know I am. Hold on. Okay, wait, everybody, wait. Let's introduce Coffee, and then we'll open up the panel for a free for all, and we'll move it around. Real quick, Coffee. Are you a Trump supporter, and what are your thoughts on the first 24 hours of the Trump administration?
Oh, that's just a swear word to me.
You got answered.
I don't even want to touch his regulations. It's the revoking of everything Biden did that just killed my soul.
Yeah.
And it's after 1 a.m. I really only just came up to talk about one thing, if you don't mind.
The floor is yours.
I know you guys were talking about it a little while ago, about the medications.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we have to watch out for is when he goes after the Inflation Reduction Act.
Yep.
Back probably 15 years ago, yes, I'm aging myself, I used to be an insurance broker, and I worked specifically with people on Medicare and getting onto Medicare. And I had to have these really hard conversations with people who were living on Social Security and paycheck to paycheck about what was called the coverage gap for their medication.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with it. What it was is Medicare coverage would cover up to, say, you pay up to like $2,000 for like the first part covering your medications. And then after that, you paid 100% of your medications until you reached like $10,000. And then after that, the rest of the coverage would kick in.
Mm-hmm.
So having to explain that to people whose insulin or other medications were costing thousands of dollars
and them crying to you because they didn't know how they would live.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have to choose between their medication or food.
Yeah.
So it's something to watch for, and if you can afford it, save your money, because once that's revoked, that's what took that coverage gap away.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and the thing that I've been saying that overall is like be mindful of everything, right? And be mindful, like, so Kay came up earlier and she talked about like resources, right? And
Yeah.
that's one thing, one of many things that I love about her, but she always has the resources. And like, I know there's going to be a lot of people that need that help and need those additional resources. And so I think it's super important that we try to make sure that we share that information and give people a heads up. And so they know what's happening, and they're able to partake in whatever resources and availability and help. Because, I mean, let's be honest. We know for a fact the federal government is not going to be looking out for everyone's best interests. So, as I say all the time on Blue Sky, hashtag we all we got.
Yeah.
So let me do this real quick. Guys, W's in the chat for Laura. Laura sent a $7 donation, says, Diva miss you. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for that $7 donation. Yeah, I'm going to have to stop back by. I haven't hung out in Diva's chat in a while. I'm going to have to definitely stop by Diva and hang out with her for a while. But guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. We got 406 people hanging out with us. We only have $120 left in the nightly donation goal. Only $120. If 120 people send $1, I know we can close out the nightly donation goal. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please, please, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. With that being said, guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes. And also, guys, massive, massive, massive W's in the chat for Jody. Jody sent that dollar. Listen, when I say this, and I know I've said this before, but I truly, truly mean it. When I say if everybody sends $1, we can close it out. And when someone actually sends that $1, that actually means so much to me. Thank you so much for that $1 donation, Jody. Jody says Abraham Lincoln, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Obama, and Clinton have all had their biographies taken off the WhiteHouse.gov 404 era. That is some insane stuff. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That's
Hold on. Did you say
absolutely insane.
I'm sorry. Did you say Reagan was on that list?
Abraham Lincoln, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Obama, and Bill Clinton. I'm gonna have to take a look and check that, but apparently all of those former presidents have had their biographies removed.
I just checked Reagan's and it's not on there. It says website not found.
Holy freaking smokes, that's insane.
Rewriting history.
Yeah. Also, guys, W's in the chat for my brother Brett Cross. He sent a $1 donation, said much love, Brett. You know how much I love you. You are absolutely awesome, guys. That means now we are officially only $118 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. We can definitely do it. I appreciate everyone, and yeah, I just got verification that is correct. That all of those are now gone. That is insane. Who? Also, one other thing that I want to read out, just an FYI, and I want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. This year, I guess going back to what Coffee was actually stating, this year, $2,000 is the cap out of pocket for Medicare. Most cases, 15 years ago would have been different. So I guess that's where it is. So right now there's a cap of $2,000 out of pocket for Medicare.
Yeah, the Inflation Reduction Act is what changed it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying keep an eye on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, with that being said, guys, so this is what we're going to do. I want to open it up to the entire panel. We're going to move it around the panel. I know everybody wants to talk about something different, and I want to open it up and let everyone be able to speak on whatever you want to speak. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with Phil, and we're gonna move it around, and you guys can actually have the floor and speak on whatever you want to speak on. One last quick W's in the chat for Gina. Gina sent a $5 donation saying thank you for what you're doing. Thank you so much for the $5 donation, Gina. Thank you for that, guys. We're now only $113 away from closing out that nightly donation goal. Phil, the floor is yours. Where do you want to take it? And let's do popcorn. Let's do popcorn. Phil, you can start, and then you can decide who you want to pass it to next.
Okay. So honestly, I came up here, and anybody that's watched Santana's lives and seen me come up here knows that I typically get really nervous and anxious and kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight I'm not. Tonight I'm angry.
Is it liquid courage? Oh, okay.
No,
it's anger.
no.
I thought sometimes, sometimes we get a little bit of liquid courage.
No, dude, I'm still on meds. I can't drink right now.
You right.
But no, what it is that I very obviously identify with they, them pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
And like Brett said, I don't exist apparently anymore.
Does that mean you no longer have to pay taxes? Because I might take that deal.
Dude.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. That was fun. I'm gonna message my wife that. But no, it's I have gender X on my license. I live in Minnesota. It's an option here. And the moment I was able to do that, I cried.
Mm-hmm.
And now my wife and I had to sit down and have a conversation after the inauguration about whether or not I'm going to get that changed.
Yeah.
Because I can't get a passport with gender X. And if my ID says gender X, if my ID says gender X and my passport doesn't, I will get denied flights. How do I know this? Because it's happened already. So I'm livid, and I'm so mad for all of the people like me and all of the people who are having to experience this. And it takes a lot for me to get mad for myself, but I am livid for everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where to go with it. Like, I don't know what to do. And I've been standing in this state of, everyone has fight, flee, or freeze. I've been sitting in freeze for months now.
Right.
Because I've known that it was coming, but to hear him say it in his inauguration.
Yep.
And a standing ovation, by the way.
And to get, exactly.
A standing ovation.
Standing ovation.
Absolutely disgusting.
I, for all of the people in the chat who are transgender, for all of the people in the chat who identify as non-binary, I want you to know that there are people fighting, and I'm going to be one of those people. And that is what I have decided on.
Yep.
I'm going to figure out what I need to do. And I am tired of being quiet, and I'm tired of being anxious.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm happy that you said that. I'm happy that you feel that way. I'm happy that you're standing on business, because Phil, I'm going to stand on business with you. Point blank, period.
I know you will.
Let me read these
That's
off
one of the
real
best
quick.
things about this.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, we got community. We got us. We got, but we got us. Phil, I want you to think about who you want to pass it to. Let me read these off real quick, guys. Debbie's in the chat for it. Tina sent a $1 donation saying, thank you. People like you will get us through what's coming. Listen, it's not people like me. It's us together who's going to get through this. I can't do this by myself. I need each and every person. I need all of us locked in and doing this together. So thank you. W's in the chat for Justin. Justin sent a $10 donation saying, please keep what you're doing. Justin, keep doing what you're doing. Justin, they couldn't stop me if they tried. I promise you they couldn't, because I would go down swinging. Also, W's in the chat for Chase. Chase sent a $5 donation saying, "I can't watch tonight. I know you're on though. Hope you're having a great night." Guys, W's in the chat for Chase. Chase isn't even here and sent that actual donation to help out the nightly goal. Chase, you're freaking awesome. I know Chase isn't here. Chase isn't watching. Hopefully, Chase will watch it back on YouTube. But let's get a million W's in the chat for Chase, just in case Chase actually gets an opportunity to watch that back. That is so awesome and so special. Thank you for that, Chase. Guys, that means we only have $97 left in our nightly donation goal. We can definitely knock that out. $97. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Phil, who are you popcorning it to?
I'm going to throw it to KP.
KP, the floor is yours. What do you want to talk about?
So I know I said something. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I know I said something a little bit earlier about just the Paris Climate Accords, but I really just want to double down and harp on that. None of these issues, and obviously no one has a right to make trans issues anybody's issues but theirs. And but just speaking to that, with trans issues, with the issue on AB, with the issue on immigration, none of that matters if we can't sustain life on Earth. And I had this conversation with my mother, who is more independent, but I think had voted for Trump in the past. I think she was a little too embarrassed to tell me. But I said to her, because she asked, don't you think you're being a little bit dramatic about this election? And I said, listen, you can have the semantical argument of all these things, pro-choice, pro-life. At the end of the day, we are on track by 2040, 2050 to have millions of people displaced as climate refugees because of the current track that we're on. And I don't know how that isn't more. I know with the older generations, a lot of it has to do with selfishness and the mindset of, I won't be here, so what does it matter anyway?
Yep.
But I don't understand how, especially with the young demographic that showed out for Trump, how that isn't at the forefront of our minds when he's talking about pulling us out of the climate agreement, when he's talking about Arctic drilling, when he's talking about drilling on federally protected lands.
Yeah.
And that is my biggest, my hands on my head. I don't know how to even feel, because we have someone at the helm who doesn't even believe that it exists. Now, I don't know if he personally thinks that it's real or not, but from what he's conveyed to everyone else, he doesn't believe in it.
Yeah. No, listen, the thing that gets me is, you're absolutely right. He doesn't believe in climate. He doesn't believe in climate change. He doesn't believe in protecting natural resources. That's why he loves the whole drill, baby drill. That's why he loves deregulation. That's why deregulation is listed there. I mean, quite simply put, you're absolutely correct, right? Donald Trump is someone who, that bothers me about the older generation. There are certain people within the older generation who are just like, oh, I won't be here, so I don't care. But it's really concerning where we are as a country, where we're going to be putting not only ourselves but our future generations in a position where they're not going to be able to sustain life on this planet because of what's happening. So you are spot on with that. I want to read this out, guys. W's in the chat for Destiny. Destiny sent a $20 donation, and Destiny said, "I'm sorry, I wish it could be more." Destiny, stop. Thank you for the donation. When I say anything is accepted, everything is appreciated, I absolutely mean it. Destiny, I appreciate your donation. I would even just appreciate if you were just here watching, if you were tapping the screen, if you were commenting. You just being here means more to me than you'll ever know. So thank you so much for that. Massive W's in the chat for Destiny. With that being said, guys, we only have $77 left in the nightly donation goal. I know we can take care of it. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links are in the bio. KP, who are you popcorning it to?
Yes, just real quick before I popcorn it, I also just wanted to say, alluding to your deregulation prompt up there, it's really funny. And if anyone didn't know and they wanted some ammunition for future lives with MAGA, multiple things that Trump deregulated in his first administration can be directly tied to the listeria outbreaks that we see today,
Yup.
to the Boeing issues that we see today.
Don't forget the boar's head meat. No, the boar's head meat recall.
Exactly. So if anyone didn't know that, there's some ammunition for your future lives. But I think I will popcorn it over to Calbug. I feel like we haven't heard a whole ton
Hey,
from
let's
them.
go, Cowbug. All right, Cowbug, what do you have to add?
Well, as I'm sitting here listening, I'm thinking about two things. One is the deportation of wonderful, wonderful people that have given so much to our country, have worked so hard, that do not deserve to have what is coming on them. And if it wasn't for the ones that have literally come here to make a better life and really worked their asses off to get where they are, and now if they don't have the right documentation or they weren't even documented when they come, my heart is broken because I know somebody that literally has worked so hard for 15 years in this country, has given so much. My heart breaks for them, and I think that we all probably feel the same thing. The other thing I want to express is that women's rights and what is going to happen down the road, and what is happening. I am a woman. I'm 58, but at 19, I had an ectopic pregnancy. I literally almost was unalive by just not getting to the hospital in time. And I know that story, and it affects so many women on just that end, but also on the end that if they're choosing for their lives or they can't provide or whatever, we all should be scared of what's happening with the women's rights and deportation.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. You are absolutely right. I mean, it's the thing is there's so many people lives that are in jeopardy in so many different ways, and from what KP was saying to the fact that all life on Earth is at risk. To your point, like women lives are at risk, and even Brett who just left, like kids' lives are in danger. Whether we're talking about climate control, whether we're talking about the right to health care, whether we're talking about pew pew reform, it's super. Not I don't even want to say interesting. It's worrying that we're in a spot where all of these different things are happening at the same time, and it's being perpetuated by the same group of people. Like that's where we are. So. Yeah.
Scary times are coming.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let me read these off real quick, and I wish we would have got Brett. Brett sent $1 donation, said, "Gotta bounce, brother. Keep it up. Love you." Brett, if you're still listening, I love you more, and I will talk to you soon. Also, guys, W's in the chat for D Moore, who sent $1 donation to say, providing a platform and crashing out in MAGA cult lives. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, D Moore. I'm telling you, listen, that's what I do. That's what I do. I am unreasonable. My wife has given me one stipulation around this whole crash out thing, and it's not to yell too much. And that's the only rule. So as long as I'm not yelling too loud, then I get to crash out as much as I want. So guys, make sure you're following my backup account for that. With that being said, guys, we only have $75 left in our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Cowbug, who would you like to popcorn into?
I haven't heard really from Lady Ball.
Hey, Lady Ball.
I'd love to hear from her.
Thank you. As I'm sitting here, and I kind of think about, we're all in this melting pot, and this pot is about to boil over. I think every time it upsets a certain or particular group, they will start the fire under this pot. Just as every time he proposes something, it has to take something away from something from somebody who's used to it. And the worst thing in this world to do is take something away from people that is used to it. So if I'm used to getting my insulin at a lower cost, and now you want me to go back to a harder cost, then people gonna go in the pot. Okay. Federal workers who used to working at home for 3 years, and now you tell them to just show up at work next day, they're going to be in the pot. Because nobody can instantly just go back to work because their lifestyle has changed for the last 3 years.
Yep.
They've been able to do things at home, work at home, from work at home that they can't do when they're at the office.
Yep.
So they didn't got comfortable with that. Transgenders, same way. Everybody is going to be added into the pot. The only problem is when we all in this pot, I'm like, KP, what issue is the most important? Because at some point, it's going to lead to the destruction of everyone if we don't take care of the main issue. Black women, now we done told you we on vacation to 2029.
You did. You absolutely did say that.
So I don't even know if I don't even feel that the majority of us care if this pot boils over. Okay? That's where we're at.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at, I'm just like, you just can't take things like you say, insulin, like they said, you got the $2,000 donut hole coming. That's at jeopardy now, where you got to go back where the donut hole is $6,000. He don't care about people on Medicaid and Medicare. He don't care about people. He don't care about the elderly, because anybody that has the people that's on elderly, and you talking about messing with the Medicare and the Social Security, now they in the pot.
Yep.
He's going to have a slew of army people in that pot that's going to come after him.
Lady Ball, you know it.
And he's adding people to that pot every day. He's going to have the southern border mad at the northern border, because they ain't said nothing about the northern border.
Not one thing about the northern
They
border.
just said the southern border. So now when you say southern border, you know exactly who he don't want to come into this country. But it's okay for the northern border. Didn't mention one thing about sending the armed army up to the northern border to stop nothing.
Lady Bell, I want to add to what you're just saying. Actually, he doesn't care about anybody, anyone, except for his billionaires and himself. And you hit the nail on the head. He doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't care about nobody's health, no one's rights. He does not care one bit. It's all about him and his billionaires.
And then even with the federal job, the goal with the federal job is that they're hoping or wishing that these people don't return to work, so that he can fill those jobs with the people that he want to fill them with. But what he don't understand is federal workers make good money. I mean, they make decent money. So how many of them would be willing to give up their job? They may not be willing to give up their job. They're going to hate going back into the office. But a lot of them not finna just walk away from their job because you say come back to work.
Yep. Yeah, I tell you what, Lady Ball, like I made so I've been working remote since 2019, right before C19, but I made the decision that I would never take another job that is not remote, right? I mean, I'm sorry, I made that decision, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. And so I've turned down opportunities to be able to protect my peace, and I will forever protect my peace.
And that's a domino, because now I'm hearing Toyota is saying that their workers got to return back to the office by September 1st. So AT&T has said the same thing. So now you got the big corporations, and basically all it is that they want to fill up these buildings that are owned by them, because why would they were the ones that are complaining because their buildings are empty.
Yep. That is definitely the case. Definitely the case. I don't know. I think to your point, when you actually you change people's lives and people actually adjust in so many ways, and it's not just like a recent thing, but it's a long-term thing. You're affecting so many different people's lives, whether it be changing what they're used to paying for insulin, whether it be them, working remotely or things along those lines. Like all of those things are major impacts, and I think you called it out dead on the head. Thank you so much for that, Lady Ball. Let me read this off, guys. W's in the chat for Wise Yes. Wise Yes sent a $25 cash app to say money for the truth. Wise Yes, thank you so much for that. You are absolutely, absolutely amazing. Guys, that means we are only $50 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Lady Ball, who would you like to popcorn into?
Well, it seems like JBS popcorned up here, so let me open the door to him.
Hold on. No. Okay, we gotta wait for JBS. We gotta wait for the three new people. Let's
okay.
Cowbug, I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you so much. We got Izzy and we got Beach.
Okay, let's go to Izzy.
Okay, Izzy, the floor is yours.
So I'll say, I said this to a couple buddies last night while I was gaming. You and I have spoken quite a few times. I served in the Army for 9.5 years, and there was never a point where there were multiple points during the time that I served that I would regret my decision to have gone in, but it was mostly circumstance dependent. Yesterday was the first time where, after seeing Elon's, little movements behind the presidential seal, seeing Trump sign in the executive orders to that violated the Constitution, right? I never thought that I would see a president come in and try to use his executive authority to violate the Constitution. That I felt a level of shame for the fact that I served the country. And it's not this isn't the country that I served. This is not the country that I took an oath to protect, at least not what the government is currently attempting to do. And so, yeah, that was this. I don't want to say I feel hopeless right now, because I can't say that I feel hopeless.
Right.
But I'm pissed off.
Yeah. No. The thing about that, the thing about that is, like, a lot of people feel scared and hopeless and worried. And the thing that I try to double down on, Izzy, is saying, I feel pissed off, right? And I feel like I have to do more. Like that's how I felt after the election. I was pissed off after the election, and it quite simply, for me, it became a situation where it's like, I can't sit back. I have to do more. I feel more responsible than ever. I feel like I have to do more. I have to be more. I have to work harder. I have to push harder. And the one thing that I'll say is, there are certain things that are going to happen over these next 4 years that it's gonna try. I'm a fan of history. I love history. I love German history. I've said this many times. I took 4 years of German. And the thing that I learned about what happened with the Mustache Man and with the H group, or not the H group, but with the H event, was that he tried spewing the nonsense about, unaliving Jewish people, and, they weren't going with the Jewish hate. And then he had to actually work to gain the trust of the people in Germany, and it was a systematic approach. And the one thing that happened that allowed him, well, there were multiple factors, but one big thing that happened that allowed him to continue to actually go on, because he had multiple breaks. Like, the economy was getting ready to fail. Like, I mean, it was a situation where like he had multiple plans. They needed to build the Autobahn in order to actually decrease, or I'm sorry, they built the Autobahn that helped decrease unemployment by 33%. I mean, there was like so many factors that had to break just right. But the first thing that he had to do was to get people to buy in that they don't have to worry about others. They don't have to care about others. Like, don't worry about those other people. It's not you. We're going to take care of you. Don't worry about everybody else. And that was like a key factor in order for the mustache man to get to where he wanted to be. And so for these next 4 years, I say that I will never stop caring about others, and no one should. We should never get to a point where we don't care about other people and we are only thinking about ourselves. So
No,
Izzy,
absolutely.
like, we have to fight back, and that's how we fight back, by taking care of each other.
Oh, absolutely. Also, I would like to. I typically don't address comments, but there's a lot of people saying didn't know what I was voting for, yada yada. Guys, I did not vote for Trump. I voted for Vice President Harris.
Izzy absolutely did not.
So don't
they on your head.
Don't muddy my name by saying that I voted for that fucking man.
Izzy,
I
language.
not,
this is late nights.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Late nights is a language-free zone. Please do not muddy my name by saying that I voted for that man. I've not once voted for him. Right. I didn't vote in the 2016 election. 2020, I voted for Joe Jorgensen. 2024, I voted for Vice President Harris. So I wanted to make that clarifying statement of, I do not regret my vote because I voted for the correct person.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, Izzy, I appreciate you so much. I'm going to drop you down, and we're going to popcorn it over to Beach, because that's the last person that was on the panel that hasn't gotten the ability to speak. But Izzy, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you for having me up here, man. You have a good one.
You as well. Beach, the floor is yours.
Thanks. So I just wanted to say for Izzy, because I know that he kind of presented like his kind of like not ethical dilemma, but how he was kind of feeling questionable at his service. Like, he signed up for the service and he served us, his country, and I just, I applaud him for that, and I don't think that he should second guess himself because of what's happening now. So I hope that he's still listening. But I actually am a newer listener to you, Santana. I actually saw you when you were on GT's live. And I didn't know that you had, I didn't know that you had such a vast knowledge of German history. And I've been trying, because again, it feels like I've seen this film before, type thing. Do you recommend any like books that are not 5,000 pages long that would give some not insight, but just kind of go over that history? Because again, I think that there's a lot of parallels to be drawn, but I'm just trying to figure out like what would be the best approach, or like what, if there's a book that would be beneficial to read that's going to be helpful to my non-historian brain.
You're not gonna like what I have to say, and it's actually not necessarily a history of the layout of the events, but it is a book that I read that gives you perspective.
Okay.
Mein Kampf.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard of that book, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It translates to My Struggle, and
yeah,
it is a interesting read. It's not 5,000 pages, but it's the prelude, and it gives you a bit of a perspective. There's a ton of history books, and I'm sure, as a matter of fact, I'll make sure to actually send you some additional thoughts.
Okay.
I will say there's one really. So I was doing some prep work for something that I'm going to be running as far as like the debates, when I actually do my debates this week. I have a new topic, and fun fact, yes, I do like research not only before I do these panels, but before I do my debates. And there was this great recap documentary that was on YouTube called the what is it? The year one of 1933 Germany, the rise of the Nazi Party, and it has like a great detailed timeline as far as like the approach that Hitler took and how the party came, into power, what they did, like just a really, really good timeline. And I promise you, with like reading it, watching it, you'll see a lot of the similarities. But with doing the research, there's a lot of correlations from both of them having like the failed coups to both of them like centralizing power to both of them ostracizing the media. Like all of this stuff has happened before. I'm telling you, it's like it's all happened before. This is not new. And you know who else has read Mein Kampf multiple times and also has a copy of the book on his nightstand?
I'm afraid to ask you who.
You already know who.
Yeah.
So, again, I would recommend that.
He knows how to read. That's crazy.
I think. I'm sure there's ketchup stains all on that book. Like, little, anyway. Anyway, Beach, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a great night, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you. Guys, real quick, W's in the chat for Alina. Alina sent a $10 donation, and I'm going to read this off, but this is Alina's words, not my words. This is Alina's words, not my words. Alina said, everyone should adopt a cat. I didn't say it. Alina said it. Everyone should adopt a cat. Also, W's in the chat for Lady Ball. Lady Ball sent a $5 donation to say, my soul weeps for America, but my spirit believes we will overcome. Listen, Lady Ball, I'm the same way. Like I'm not optimistic, but I am still ever defiant. I am right there with you. Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, that means we're only $35 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. I know we can do that. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all my pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. With that being said, this is the panel that is going to bring us home. This is the panel that is going to close out the nights here with Late Nights with Santana. This is the panel that's about to bring the boom. So I'm going to start with JBS. JBS, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. JBS, I'm going to start with you saying, one, are you a Trump supporter? And two, what are your thoughts on these last 24 hours of the new Trump administration?
Nay on the first question. Baffling on the second, to say the least. What's to come is unpredictable, but there are some things that he signed today that I think people need to stay informed on. I think you talked about it quite well, especially the Dodd-Frank Act. I think a lot of your speakers talked about the Paris Accords that we withdrew from and he signed on, and many others. So I won't address those. I did come up for a specific reason for you, and I think you said something earlier. And if you haven't read about the Dodd-Frank Act, I think most of you know the repeal of that could be very significant to various communities, all of us, quite frankly, as it relates to mortgages, as it relates to fees associated with bank swipes, and many other variables that are embedded within the Dodd-Frank. I came up here because, and I don't want to digress, you did something 3 weeks ago or so as a community, and you said something earlier about we need to move the dialogue as a community, and you have significant impact within this platform or other platforms. And if you recall correctly, you had someone exiled from this community, and I won't mention his name because I think you know him.
He who shall not be named.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will not do that. So I say that to say that the power of this app and other apps and talking within the community about staying informed about what's to come is significant. The other thing you said is you're pissed. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of us are pissed as to what's to come, and especially after what I saw Elon do yesterday. Mm-hmm. I dare any one of us to do that on this app and see if that gets.
People have been saying that, like, oh, if you say it's not a big deal, cool. Make a video.
Go do some videos about this.
Yeah.
I posted a video about book club in a photo, and it took 12 hours to get that reviewed and submitted. Mm-hmm. It was bizarre mm-hmm. to me. Mm-hmm. And so I think I have this thing that I go by. I can't suppress my emotions, can't suppress my feelings, but I can control how I react to them. Mm-hmm. And so my reaction to anything that upsets me, that pisses me off, is to learn, to engage in conversations, because the only way to move things forward is to be on a continuous learning path and to seek help when it's needed. Don't think you can do everything on your own. You need a community to support you. And I think you've created a platform. I don't know you that well, Santana, but I've seen you a couple of times. You've had Athena up here. So I appreciate the conversation. It's thoughtful. It's calm. Sometimes it can be contentious, but hey, that's normal. And that's okay as long as we learn something from the conversation. And I just wanted to say that coming up here, and that's it, man. Thanks for having me. I'm not going to hold it.
Listen, since you said it, I wasn't going to say anything just yet because you invoked her name. So I'll talk about it real quick. So Athena and I did a drive to try to help people affected by different G-sides all around the world.
Yep,
right?
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so the community, we were able to raise $1,065. And my wife and I matched that with another $1,065. So we had $2,130 to actually donate to different organizations. And so I dropped this to Athena because, one, sometimes I'm a little, I procrastinate sometimes. But also, if something gives me a little bit of trouble, I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. Anyway, with that being said, I finally was able to actually get all of the donations squared away, and so we were able to donate equally $710 to three different charities, which I'm going to be posting the information. I'm going to post the video and also the receipts. But we donated $710 to help with the G-side happening in Haiti, $710 to help with the G-side that is happening in Sudan, and $710 to help for the G-side that's happening in the Congo. So I will be posting a video, posting those receipts. I just had to say thank you to the chat. I was going to wait and actually bring that up at another time, but you brought it up, so I wanted to say it. W's in the chat for the chat because you guys did amazing and the community is awesome. So
it just takes one person to lead the conversation, man, and it's amazing the change that can happen. So thank you for doing that.
Hey,
I'll continue to do the good work, brother.
Thank you to my wife. That was all her. That she sparked the idea. She's always my muse, so that's her.
And in front of every good man is a strong wife.
Say it again.
In front of every good man is a strong wife. I've been married for 25 plus years, so I totally understand that.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thank you for coming up and thank you for spending time with us.
God bless, man. Have a great night. Take care, y'all.
Thank you. Yeah, guys, I was gonna hold off and tell you guys about that later because I do want to make a video because, like I said, I want to post the receipts and I want to make a video and say a special thank you, especially to you guys, especially to Athena who led that conversation. But it's amazing. I'll post it and you guys can go see. You can go to the sites and see the actual donation. But the super awesome thing was on a couple of the sites we had the largest donation for those sites. And then there was one site that I really liked where you could actually dedicate who the donation was for. And I dedicated it to all of us with Late Nights with Santana because we did that together. So W's in the chat for all of you guys. And also keep it rolling. W's in the chat for Erica who sent a $5 donation to say, let me up. E, I would have let you up anyway, but I'll take the $5. W's in the chat for E. W's in the chat for Izzy who sent a $2 donation say my cat won't like me bringing other cats home. Alina, Izzy cannot get another cat, but Izzy sent a $2 donation. Thank you for that, Izzy. And W's in the chat for Travis. Travis sent a $5 donation said you can put out the fire but you can never put out the idea of the fire. The election was lost but our souls will never stop burning. Listen, you better say that again because listen, they tried. As the once late great King T'Challa said, as you can see, I am not dead. Anyway.
Give me my money back.
Whatever, dude. It's too late. With that being said, guys, it's only $23 left in the nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. E, Taisha, you guys are coming. You guys have to wait because you guys are different. I was about to say special, but I don't want to single anybody out. So you two hold on. Caitlin, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Hi. I just wanted to kind of bring up something that I feel like a lot of people aren't really talking about with the insulin situation. Personally, I have gestational diabetes and I'm 16 weeks pregnant. And removing this insulin cap makes a huge difference for our family. And like, you know, a lot of times people just normally think of, you know, your people who are on these meds for years or things like that. But when you're growing a family, you're not necessarily expecting to have to pay out that much money for medications during your pregnancy while also trying to, you know, prepare your home for another person. So just something, you know, I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily think about. And with Trump also wanting to remove AB guidelines, he's forcing people to take these costs on without possibly the means to do so.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know that's something that that conversation has happened as well. And the thing that I like to actually that I like to bring up and want to make sure that we keep in focus, because I know I said this earlier, and as a community, we have to be there for each other. We have to be prepared to actually help each other, and we have to be willing to take advantage of multiple resources. And I know for a fact that again, our community is so amazing. I love what we do in multiple ways, but I also love how we have so many resources at our disposal. And I know we're posting this in our Discord. I think it's already posted in our Discord, but there's a couple of resources because you brought it up, and I want to make sure I call it out. But there are a couple of resources, including customer care and sensor support for freestyle. Hold on one second. For freestyle Libri, I know I'm messing it up, but that's one resource that I want to make sure that we bring to people's attention. But then also, there's another resource that is available with Dexcom, where there's multiple places that people, if you're worried about the actual insulin cost, because it is going to be a thing, right? That's something that is going to specifically be affected really quickly. So making sure that we not only take care of each other, but take advantage of any and every possibility for support is going to be super, super important. So I'm really glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, those two are the continuous glucose monitors. So like the sensors you wear in your arm. I am speaking to your admin, Kay.
Oh, okay.
She's been helping me kind of navigate some of this.
Just FYI, Kay is the person that runs the show. She's not the admin. She's not. Kay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. But I have been, you know, speaking to her and reaching out, and she's had, you know, a wealth of information. So she did tell me about some grants and stuff that I can try to apply for, you know, to help. But it's just something that I feel like a lot of people don't touch on. And because when you think of insulin and a lot of people are thinking, you know, your normal kind of situations, type 1, type 2, kind of ongoing situations. But a lot of people can be hit with this, you know, kind of out of the blue and not necessarily expecting it.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
No, you're absolutely right. And I mean, that's a great call out. And like I said, I mean, the biggest thing is making sure that we're taking care of each other, because to your point, you never know how life will actually change and what might come your way. So that is a great, amazing call out. So thank you for that. And thank you for coming up and sharing with us.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Thank you for the heart meet. All right, so let's do this. I don't know I don't know what's happening with these two people up on the panel. They they're up here. I'm gonna take Taisha more serious because it's Taisha that's up here, not Mr. Thomas. But Erica, I don't know why she's here. I guess she wanted to bask in the glory of late nights again, and so that's why Erica wanted to come. Listen, chat. Every once in a while, you know how like you have kids, right? And you raise your kids, you spend your time nurturing your kids, and then they go off to college. And every once in a while, they come home and they bring their laundry and they say, "Hey, can you feed me?" And sometimes you got to take care of your kids, even though they're grown and they get on your nerves and all this other stuff. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's happening. I don't know. Either she came to bask in the glory of late nights or she wants us to cook her a home cooked meal and wash her drawers. I'm not sure. But we're going to start with Taisha before we give the floor to Erica.
So, well, I was gonna troll, but now that you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you seriously," I guess I have to.
You
be
came
serious.
up here as Taisha. I thought I was supposed to take you serious.
I know. I was debating. I was going back and forth in my head if I was gonna troll you or not. Okay. On a serious note, I'm really excited for this Trump presidency. The only thing I'm excited for is that $5,000 child tax credit. Is that going to happen? And can he do that day two? So that, because it's tax season, you know. So if we could get that done before, that'd be awesome.
No. Oh, you know what's interesting? So he actually, so they've already proposed the tax plan, which I know it's not going to affect this tax season, but it will affect next tax season and also the next 8 years. So fun fact for people who think that somehow they're getting rid of taxes, no, they're actually implementing the new tax code, all this other stuff. But taxes on single parents are going to increase, and they're also looking to try to increase or add taxes on to scholarships as well. So it's gonna get wicked.
Bruh.
It's gonna get wicked.
Damn, do I have to get married now?
Yeah, you're gonna have to jump that broom. I'm telling you. Listen.
So with that said,
Yeah, your audio sounds like you're in the toilet.
it's on, like you're in the tunnel, but the toilet, it was just working.
You were in the turtlet for a second. Now it's a little bit better, but you still sound like you under the sea. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Okay.
We can't hear you. Guys, while Erica tries to get her audio out of the toilet, let me read this off. Guys, W's in the chat for Antonio. Antonio sent a $5 donation saying, "Thank you for the knowledge." Antonio, thank you so much for your kindness and your donation. Thank you for being here. You are absolutely amazing. With that being said, guys, $18 left in the nightly donation goal. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Thank you for everything. You want to try again, E, or can... Taisha and I continue to have our conversation with our non-toilet phones.
Please stop doing that. It's starting like I'm in the toilet still.
Yeah, it's Taisha. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Don't she sound like she's in?
I can't work technology.
This is hard because Black women got to stick together, and so I want to say nah.
Taisha,
good.
Listen, Taisha, I choose violence all the time. Have you noticed that about me?
I have. But listen, I'm going to just stick beside my fellow Black woman and say that it's actually you.
Okay, go ahead and set up for failure. Okay, yeah, E, your volume's great. Now go live. And since Taisha want to set you up for failure.
Is it working now?
It does sound better now.
Oh, I unplugged it. That's why.
Yay. See, she's been sounding like this the whole time, Santana. He's gaslighting you. He's gaslighting you, Erica. Like, you have sounded this the whole time.
Okay. All right. So I still have work to do, but I did set the soundboard. I'm sorry I came up here for shenanigans. I don't want to hijack. I just really wanted to test it, and I didn't want to go live. Yeah. So. But I do have sounds, but you guys won't be able to hear them because I unplugged everything. So I got to keep.
What soundboard did you get?
I don't know. It's the one that Bone gave me. It's the mono.
Is it the two-sided or the one-sided one?
It's one side.
Yeah, the one-sided one sucked for me. I ended up upgrading to the two-sided one, which is better.
Okay.
But yeah, like you got to have the right chords and connections and everything. But the I had a hard time with the one-sided one as well. But the two-sided one, which is only, I think, like $20 more if you're getting it off Amazon, it's really worth it.
Well, the thing is, I didn't pay for this.
Oh, you got it for the free ski?
I got it for the free ski. So yeah, for free $99.
Can't really knock it in. You got to make that work.
I got to make it work. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm tired of technology. God,
that's because you old.
It is because I'm old. I be trying to tell people. They be like, "No, you young." No, I'm old, baby.
And tell them to ask me next time if you're old. I got you.
Okay, we'll do. All right, I'm gonna drop. Hey, Ty. All right.
Hi.
Okay, y'all continue our serious conversation.
Yeah. No.
Another thing, a thing I'm worried about though, even though I'm a naturalized citizen, he don't care, right? You know, we know he don't care. And I've been here since I was 3 years old. Okay, so I'm stressing a little bit because I'm like, do I know where my papers are? Do I? Sure don't. They're probably in my parents' house.
It's under your mama mattress. That's where
Probably.
That's where black people keep them, under your mama mattress.
Well, I was adopted by white tea people, so they have a document.
So I was about to say maybe it's in a safe somewhere.
It might be in a safe. Yeah, I'm trying to like rationalize it in my head, but he's very irrational, so I don't like this. I'm like, he has no clear outline for who he's gonna go after. He just hates immigrants. So and he don't care how long they've been here. Like, he's gonna go after people who have been here since they were 3 years old, 4 years old, 2 years old. Like,
which, like, the sad part about that, Taisha, is like, how dare you rip people away from the only home that they've ever known? How dare you actually come and tell people that they aren't allowed to be to know the only place that they have ever known? That is insane. And for you to want to rip people away from the only life that they've ever, for you to want to actually take away an opportunity for someone that's seeking a better life is the most insane thing that I've ever heard in my life. It's disgusting, and it speaks to not only him, but the people that voted for him, the party that backs him, and it speaks to who we are as a country.
to push the American dream, and then deport people who came here hoping for the American dream is diabolical.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Did we already talk about pastor, whatever, who the woman pastor who spoke directly to Trump?
No. I didn't bring that up. Listen, I heard that right before I went live. I heard her, and I was like, bless her. So the old Southern woman came out of me. I said, "Oh, bless your heart."
Bishop, thank you.
Like Trump was actually going to listen to her plea, and which it was so heartfelt. It was so endearing. Oh my God. But Trump don't care. Trump don't care about that.
Not one bit. He couldn't even look her in the eye. He was looking all around the room.
Because he was ready to go. Trump was like, y'all made me come to church. I can't wait to get out of here. I got chicken nuggets to eat.
He was getting hot in there. He was burning up.
Yeah, listen. Listen. So, I don't know, Taisha. It's gonna be interesting. I keep saying interesting, but that's the wrong word. It's gonna be. I equated it last night to when I did my long-winded Donnie review. He was talking about the golden age, and like they're trying to brand it, right? That's what they're doing. They're trying to brand it the golden age, and I said my name for it was the Pride Lands. Right, and I'm a huge Lion King fan, and I hate to say this because we said it the first term, but it's when Scar was actually the ruler of the Pride Lands, and that's what it's gonna be. So I don't know. Anyway, Taisha, so we've officially hit T-shirt time. Is there anything else that you want to add for the closing of the night?
Yeah, F Trump. F everybody who voted for him.
I wish I had my soundboard because I would definitely say FDT.
They're all a bunch of Yahtzees. And this is what happens when we don't venture out to breed. And this is what happens when we don't make sure that our children are reading and learning to read adequately and comprehend what they've read. So teach your kids. Otherwise, people like Trump will be. So.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Taisha, you want to do the closing with me? The outro with me?
Sure. What do I say?
Have you never stayed until the end?
No, but what do you want me to say?
But have you never stayed until the end?
I don't remember. I'm so tired. I know that you're like, you tell people where to find you and all of that.
There's something that I look at the chat, like they're putting it in the chat. There's something that I say at the end that I always ask people to actually join me in saying. That's part of the outro. You will see it. You will see it. Let me read this off though. W's in the chat for Tribble. Tribble closed out the nightly donation goal with an $18 donation. Thank you so much, Tribble. You are freaking amazing. Thank you for everything that you do. Guys, Taisha, you got it? You see what they're putting in? You see the fingers?
The fingers, okay.
All
you want me to finger the screen? Okay. I didn't have to say it that way.
Hey, yo. But you have to say it as well. But can you say it
Peace.
in Mr. Thomas' voice? Okay. Okay, hold on.
Peace.
You gotta say it with all right. Guys. Actually, let me do this real quick. Let's raid Carbon. Carbon is live. Let's raid Carbon. Carbon.gg. We're gonna raid Carbon. Let's get over and raid Carbon. Carbon.gg. If you're watching me on the Twitch side, I'm gonna send you on a raid as well to Carbon. We're gonna raid Carbon. Guys, thank you for all the likes, the shares, the taps, the love. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. We will do this again tomorrow evening. And if you did not get an opportunity to get on the panel tonight, you will have another opportunity tomorrow night. So join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. We will do this again. We're going to raid Carbon, Carbon.gg, Carbon.gg. I love you all. Thank you all for being here. And as always, Taisha, peace. Peace.
Thank you for the raid on Twitch.
I mean, I'm tiny too. I'm 5'1", but that don't mean